Wondery Plus subscribers can listen to Crime and Sports early and ad-free right now. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts.
In the depths of an Atlanta forest, a clash between activists and authorities ends in tragedy. I'm Matthew Scher, and on my new podcast, We Came to the Forest, we expose the hidden truths behind a shootout that left one activist dead and countless lives forever changed. Binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest ad-free on Wondery Plus.
Welcome to Crime and Sports.
Yay!
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Petrogallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I am Jimmy Wissman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us today on another crazy edition of Crime and Sports. And it is a crazy edition today. Another wild one. We've had a couple of kind of older guys. Now we got a guy that was playing in the league till about 3 years ago. So it's going to be amazing. And this is a good one, too. He's got a great pace of arrests, what we're doing today. It's just
real consistent.
He's consistent. On the floor, he's pretty consistent. He's a basketball player. On the floor, pretty consistent. And also, you know, in the crime docket, also consistent. You can count on him being there year after year after year. So
terrific.
It's a very good pace. Very quickly before we get to that, thank you for everything you do for us. The reviews are very helpful wherever you listen, whatever app, platform, whatever the shit you want to call it. Please give 5 stars. Say something about us. It doesn't matter what you say, but it helps drive us up the charts. So thank you. Also head to shutupandgivememurder.com for all of your merchandise and everything you could want. Tickets to live shows. There's that one in Sacramento, Crime and Sports Live in Sacramento in August that still has some tickets left, so you can get those there. And check all that out. Check everything out about Small Town Murder, Crime and Sports. If you haven't listened to Small Town Murder, listen to it. Yeah, maybe get your toe wet. Check out on Fridays. We have a Small Town Murder Express. Maybe you dip your toe in the water. You see how you like it. You know what I mean? Very good. Okay. That said, patreon.com/crime and sports is where you get all of the good stuff. My God, do we have so much good stuff. You got like 150 episodes plus of a back catalog. You got just anything. $5 or above, you get access to anything bonus we put out. Crime and Sports or Small Town Murder. This week, the 2 episodes you're going to get for Crime and Sports, we're going to talk about Doc Ellis.
Oh.
Doc Ellis is very famous for being a guy who pitched a no-hitter in a baseball game while tripping balls on acid. So it's a wild story. And then he's just a cool guy otherwise, too. They did a bunch of cool stuff. Oh, man, Doc is the best. Yeah, I love Doc Ellis. You know, I had the Doc Ellis jersey in Pittsburgh. I love him. So
balls move in the majors.
He's great, man. Oh, he's just the best, Doc Ellis. He didn't realize he was pitching. It's a long story. So then for Small Town Murder, we are going to talk about the documentary that everybody has been asking us to talk about, the Conversations with a Killer, the John Wayne Gacy tapes. We're going to discuss that.
Wow, is that
it's intense.
Riveting.
It's riveting and intense. We'll talk all about it on Small Town Murders bonus, and you'll get all of that and more. Patreon.com/crime and sports. And, of course, you will get a shout-out at the end of the show where Jimmy will try to read your name and fail miserably. So there's that. He'll try his hardest, though. That said, let's get started. A lot of show before us. Guy who's been around for a while and fucks up a lot. Let's get to it. Zach Randolph, everybody.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. You know Zach Randolph. Yeah, the vertical leap of a, of a slug, basically. He's got... Jimmy can out-jump this man, I'm pretty sure.
Vertical leap of an earthworm. He's a very, very intimidating fella.
He is. He's a big, stocky guy. I mean, he's a 6'10", 280-pound stack of man. I mean, you're not a guy you'd want to fuck with, first and foremost, number one. He really isn't. Zachary McKinley Randolph is his name.
The least... manly, tough man.
It sounds like a white kid with 14 food allergies, doesn't it? Yeah. Like it sounds like a white kid that when he goes out to eat, the mom has to take the waiter aside for like 5 minutes beforehand.
McKinley Randolph.
Zachary McKinley Randolph. Yes, very
the
different.
guy that looks like that, you can't make fun of his name. That's
No.
a scary man.
No, he will beat the shit out of you, as we'll find out in this episode. He's born July 16th, 1981, and he seems older for some reason. I don't know why, but he's always
To me,
seemed older.
younger.
Really?
That is my fucking age, James.
But he looks like he looks older or something. I don't know what it is. He's got like an old face to him.
He does. He's got an old face.
Even when he was younger, he looked like an old veteran, and he was like 24, and he looked like he was 38, and is just going to grind out a couple more years in the league, and another
in
payday.
my head, he's got like the face of a Shar-Pei. You know what I mean? Just
Well, the headband too kind of smushes it.
I guess that's what it is.
That's also part of it.
The headband doesn't help.
No, it doesn't. Really doesn't. So he's
poor bastard.
Poor bastard. He's born in Marion, Indiana, and he grows up damn poor. His mom's name is May Randolph, M-A-E. She raised 4 sons, and Zach is the oldest. She had Zach when she was 16.
Oh.
So, I mean, Zach was, she was a single mother. His biological father, he'll have 2 people that we'll call his father here.
Oh.
First is his biological father, who he has nothing to do with ever. His name is Zachary Johnson. So he's not quite a junior, but still named after his dad.
Father's first name.
Yeah. It's a weird thing when, like, back in the 80s, like, the kid got the father's last name. That's just the way it was done in society. So to name the kid after the name you have a choice about, which is the first name, you name that after the guy who left, but you don't like him enough to give that kid his last name, which is very odd. It's just not done that way very often. More often than not, they'll get the last name grudgingly, but they're not going to name the fucking kid after him too. On top of it, this is a very mixed signal they're sending here.
It sure is.
It definitely is. So, so there was not a real. He was gone basically. Had no relationship with him, even though he lived in Marion the whole time.
Really?
Still no relationship. One time during his senior season when he was playing basketball, Zach, his father approached him and hadn't talked to him, and tried to give him $100. Like, here you go. Here's for the last 17 years, I'm sure.
$100.
Is that about right? That's more insulting than anything. Can you imagine that shit? $100? Motherfucker, are you kidding me? You got to be joking, bro.
Amazing. How old was he that time?
That's some, like, 17. That's some insulting shit. Like,
sure in the fuck yeah.
What are you trying to pay back some shit? Like, you didn't even come up and apologize. You just were like, "What's up, Zach? Here's a fucking Benjamin. Fuck you.
Here's a hundo, son. Who are you?
Who are you? Oh, my dad. Who I don't. Yeah, fuck you, bro." So, yeah, that's insulting. That's almost.
Marion's not that big of a place. They've likely been in the same grocery store or something at the same time.
You probably noticed because they were the only 2 guys looking over the aisles at each other, looking over the fucking the cereal. Fucking, they can see over the healthy cereals up top. They don't give a shit.
They can see the backstock.
Yeah, they can see it all, man. They can see the 4 brand or whatever it's called. They got all of that up there.
Poor bastard.
Yeah. So that you ever seen The Godfather 2?
I'm sure I have. I don't recall the whole thing, but I've seen. I mean, the Godfather.
There's a scene in a bar where Frankie Pantangeli's in the bar, and there's kind of the other family there, and they give him a C-note. They slip him $100, and he goes,
"How do you remember every fucking character of every movie? I don't know how you do it."
I've seen The Godfather 2 like 700 times. It's required.
Okay. It's the good one. It's the better one. But
1 and 2 are both excellent. They're equal, I think. But it's you have to do that. You don't know that?
I am not good at memorizing characters and their names.
If you're Italian, like, you have to sit. They'll come to your house and make you do it. You have to sit down once a year and watch Godfather 1 and 2 and Goodfellas, and then you're like, okay, thank you, and then
get it.
Thanks, guys, and they leave, and then you're free for another year. It's just required. It's one of those things that happens. So in Godfather 2, Frankie Pantangeli's sitting there. They come up to him and they say, hey, they're trying to talk to him about something, and they slip him a $100 bill, and he goes, I don't like the C-note. I don't like the. I take it as an insult, and he throws it back at him. Like, why the fuck are you giving me $100? Like, I don't have $100. Fuck you. And then they try to strangle him, and then a cop comes in and interrupts it, and they leave him lying there dying.
Yeah.
And then he ends up testifying later on, but they bring his brother from Italy to sit there and stare at him, and then he spooks him so he doesn't do it. It's fucking good. Anyway, so
Okay.
That said, similar situation here, except no one was strangled.
$100.
And, there was no one coming in from Italy to stare at him. So his mom says, Zach told him, I don't want your money. And then she says about his dad, he's nothing to Zach. Zach gets angry if I bring up his name.
Yeah.
So hates him. He'll have another father figure, but he's never around either because he's in prison pretty much his entire life.
He hates it when she brings up his name, especially when she's just talking to him, because it's the same fucking name.
That's
lady.
the thing, yeah. Your daddy Zachary, I guess, is the one that one's not good. Can't do that. So he had some problems right away. Like he seems to be, for such a big guy, he seems to be a bit of a follower. That's what I'm getting here. He'll be the leader of the group because he's the big guy and he's the guy with like that people has talent and stuff, but he's still kind of just
bouncer.
He goes along with whatever the group wants though. He's that kind of guy. He's not the guy who goes
lovable out for everybody.
Well, he's not the kind of guy who goes, "Hey, stop fucking up because this is going to fuck my shit up. I'm trying to go to college and do all this shit, so don't do that while I'm around." He'll be like, "Okay, let's go do that." Like that's his type of thing. He's just not like he's a follower, and he doesn't want to disappoint his friends, and that's an issue for him his whole career. Mm-hmm. I mean,
really?
Up for years, for 30 years, that's going to be an issue. It's a problem.
Jesus.
So, or 25 years anyway. He ends up in when he's 14 years old. Well, we'll do the football first. He tried to play football at one point because he's a huge fucking guy, and they put him on the defensive line, and he lasted 2 practices.
He hated it.
He got pancaked by an offensive lineman. Said, "Nope, I'm out of here. Done with that shit."
That hurts.
Yep, done with that. So in basketball, he's a physical, intimidating presence in basketball. But in football, he was like, "Nope, that's a little too much contact. I don't want any part of that shit."
Blend in way too much here, and they're bigger than me. Surprisingly,
this not good here. So he went to do that. He ended up playing some basketball. I guess there was a group, a guy named Mitch Sturm is a guy who kind of helps coaches kids play basketball here, or playing basketball. He said he approached a group of kids, young teenagers, 12, 13 years old,
right,
and was offering them pointers and shit. They were playing a game of pickup basketball, and he was saying, "Hey, you should try that." And he knew what he was talking about. So they were like, "Oh, this guy's like a coach or something." So he gave the kids his phone number and said, "If you want to get a team together, I'll coach you. I'll help you out. If not, fuck it." So here you go. The kids ended up calling back, and he sponsored a group, was coached a group, got a sponsor, and all that kind of shit. They'd all pile into his fucking car to drive to games, and it's a nice thing. He didn't diddle any of them, as far as I know. Like,
that's helpful.
As long as he doesn't diddle anybody, like, this is a fine thing to do, you know?
Hell of a guy, yeah.
But for just someone to approach strangers, children at a park and offer them help, I can't help but thinking there's something down the line that they want. Like, no one's that good, right?
Generally, yeah.
I can't believe it. The percentages are so... Even if it's 50-50, that's too much of a chance to take. I can't see 9 good people to every one pervert in this situation, right?
Yeah.
It's at least 50-50, if not worse.
Yeah.
So I don't like this. Anyway, Randolph, though, they said he worked pretty hard. He taught him a lot of footwork because he's a big guy. Footwork's important down low in the post. The coach said, "I never had a problem once with Zach. We worked hours and hours on that jab, step, pull back, and shoot the jumper, that little left-handed hook and all the post moves." So, that's what they did. He got teased, though, not only in basketball but outside of it. Crazy that you tease this guy, but he's huge. But his friend on the team remembers that the whole team would tease him because even though he was the tallest player, he could barely touch rim and he couldn't dunk.
Oh, no.
He has terrible ups, dude. He has an awful vertical leap. I was at a Suns game. Jesus, it must have been, I don't even remember, fucking 2009, 10. Yeah. Later on, I don't know. He was playing with Memphis is all I remember. And the Suns were playing Memphis and he was on the floor. And our seats were kind of like decent seats. It was somebody gave them to us for some shit. I don't remember. But we were down low where you could really see the guys and you could get a sense of their athleticism. When you see a guy like get a ball off the board and dunk it, like, and you're down at their level, you're like, holy shit, that guy flew into the air. That's really awesome. He just hung there, fucking 4 feet in the air for a while and then dunked it. That's crazy. Zach Randolph, I remember going, oh my God, he doesn't even jump. When he jumps, his toes are still touching the ground, dude. It's fucking crazy. It's crazy how little athleticism he has. It's wild, dude. Never seen anything like it before in an NBA player. One time, an opponent was shooting free throws. Randolph ended up, the ball came off and he leapt up to get it and grabbed the rim to try to like dunk it back in and just fell on the floor and like hurt himself basically. So...
There's nothing better than watching an unathletic missed dunk.
It's just, he didn't even get close. He just barely grabbed the rim, he held on to it for a second, which made his balance go crooked, and then he fell down.
Yeah, because his feet came out from underneath.
Yeah, because he doesn't have enough. I remember that in like 8th grade, it was like that. It was trying to, like, when you'd grab the rim, it was like, oh, shit, that's awkward. I needed to have a growth spurt to fucking be able to really, not be dangerous about it. So at one point, they let him play point guard. I guess he had been begging to play point guard.
Really?
For some reason. They let him play point guard, and his coach, the Sturm guy, said, quote, "You can imagine how slow Zach was bringing the ball up the court."
Of course.
He's a big, slow guy. He said, so when I say we were in fast break mode, I use the term very loosely.
As fast as we can mode.
What they said he was doing like no-look Magic Johnson passes and throwing them off the court and shit. I mean, he's trying to be Magic Johnson. He ended up shooting up about 5 inches between 8th grade and his freshman year. That's when he became, which is exactly what happened to me. That's exactly the time that happened. Oh, mine was between 7th and 8th. No, 8th and 9th.
Was he 6'7" or 6'8"? How big is he?
He's 6'9", 6'10", Zach Randolph.
Jesus.
Yeah, he grows to be. So, eventually he joined the AAU team in Indianapolis. And they said the coach, Pat Mullen, said, with young kids, sometimes you got to give them an opportunity. How are they going to get better if you don't give them an opportunity? And I think some people didn't have that feeling in Marion. So he said, I didn't realize later on, he said that the coach, Sturm, said that Zach could eat like a maniac. Everybody says his appetite is amazing.
I believe it.
This guy said that he sat in amazement as he watched him eat candy, popcorn, hot dogs, all this shit, and then go out and dominate the game.
Awful food and then go run on that belly?
Yeah, he said, quote, I didn't realize that you could buy wings by the 50 until I went out to eat with young Zach.
50?
Because that's how he would eat them. Now, their family was really poor. It's just mom, dad's in jail. His stepfather, who he calls his dad the whole time, is in jail most of his childhood. Wow. Mother, 4 kids, struggling in a low-income area, and they're on welfare a lot of the time. Mm-hmm. And he said that he wore the same pair of jeans every day to school all the time because he had like one pair of jeans that fit him well. It sucks being poor when you have growth spurts. That sucks.
I believe it.
Yeah, it's bad when you're like, I need more clothes like now. You don't understand, man. Like, this isn't a matter of fashion. It's a matter of high water. Like, help me.
High water, and the snap keeps coming undone because you won't buy me buttons.
I got the snap huskies. You got to.
That's the worst.
I'm busting out of my huskies, everybody. Help me. Busting out of my husky pants.
I'll never forget that.
Making my
mom buy me more expensive jeans just because my belly was too fat to hold the snap. Like I have skinny legs. Yeah, I sit down and just hear it.
Pop. Shit.
Damn it.
That's the Zach Randolph story, by the way. Busting out of my husky pants. The Zach Randolph.
Busting out of my husky snaps.
Busting out my huskies. Yeah, I like that. Busting out of my husky snaps. So
incredible.
He said wearing the same pair of jeans all the time. The kids used to call him names. They called him Crusty a lot.
Oh, no.
You don't want to be Crusty. That's not a good nickname.
Nobody wants to be the Crusty kid.
Nah, they called him Crusty. And so according to him here, when he's 14 years old, well, we know this happened, but these are the reasons why he said he did it. He's 14 years old in 1995. He's embarrassed, he said, and pissed off that everybody calls him Crusty, and he has no clothes. So, and he can't even get hand-me-downs because he's the one to hand them down.
He's the oldest.
He's the oldest, so he's got to take the brunt of it.
Oh, God.
So he went into a Walmart and tried on a new pair of jeans and just tried to walk out with them on. Just, I'm wearing these jeans now. And he was caught for it and ended up spending 30 days in juvenile detention for this.
30 days for a pair of jeans?
Seems really excessive for a fucking kid's first offense for stealing. He's a fucking...
Take it easy, Sam
He's a
Walton.
kid. He's 14. Like,
pressing hard charges.
I could see if he's like, got a long record of this shit, but he doesn't. Like, he's just a crusty kid.
Walmart,
cut him some
Walmart
slack.
insist on calling it aggravated robbery or something?
I don't know what the fuck did he. I can't imagine why you'd get 30 days in juvie for that. Other than
that's silly.
That sucks, man. That really does suck. And also, he gets later on in 1997 when he is 16. He gets in a fight with somebody in a public place. He's the younger of the kids, actually, in the fight, but he's also the bigger of the kids because he's the bigger than most people. Right. He's, the top 0.01% of sized people on Earth.
The biggest people, right.
Going to be the big guy most of the time. So he ends up being arrested for this in August of 1907 on a charge of battery.
Yeah, so you got battery and I don't know what larceny.
Theft.
Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Wrangler, I believe, was the charge. They got him on a Grand Theft Wrangler.
The pants are the size of a car. You can hit him with Grand Theft Auto. That's what it is.
I think when they charged him, they were reading the report and thought it was a Jeep Wrangler, and they charged him extra. That's why he got 30 days. They were like, "Oh, a pair of Wranglers! Damn it!
We thought he
Wranglers.
took 2 Jeeps."
Oh, Christ Almighty! We were like, however he did that, he's a menace. He came back and got another one. The balls on this kid. Someone's got to stop him.
So now he's got battery.
Yeah, so his coach, Mo Smedley at Marion, Indiana High School, he said, this sums up Zach from what he says, quote, "The problem is some people have taken advantage of him being so personable. He just can't say no." Uh-huh. That's the problem. He wants to show his friends, too, how he's down for them. That's the other thing. So
there's a yes man.
Well, there's a thing, too, that you get where if you grow up poor and you have a bunch of your friends around you, and then you're making it and none of them are making it.
Sure.
You have this thing where, well, if I don't take you with me and act like I'm still with you, then I'm a sellout. You know what I'm saying? So that's a thing that people get. So then they end up with these people around to show how much they didn't sell out. That show that they're still real, rather than being like, yo, you should work on your jump shot. Like, I get helping people. And I'm not saying not to help people. If you got people who need help, someone's mom's sick or somebody needs, great. Yeah, help your friends out. But you don't need to take them to live with you in some NBA city.
Yeah, there's a level to call the crib. Yeah. Call the crib, same number, same hood. No, don't call
absolutely
the crib.
not. You can call it, but I won't fucking be there. Not in that one that I was in before. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. No, that's not. No.
There's a level of that you got to be at for like humility, I guess. That's how he feels. But no, man, you can't.
You stay where it's good.
Broke, you're going to be in trouble. There's going to be 2 things.
It's not right, man. Yeah, you go where it's good and you stay there. You don't fucking take. Like I said, I get people, and if there's some people that you think actually are on your level and are trying to whatever and they need an opportunity, fucking help those people. You can bring those. Yeah. But when you just have a crew and you're like, everybody's coming with me, you're asking for trouble there. Like I said, I love the thought behind it. Yeah. In a perfect world, that would be great. And then all of them would get opportunities and then everybody would be living great and everything's going well. But in reality, you just get a bunch of people that fucking drain you of your money and live off of you and get you in trouble. And, there's stories in the press and it's not even your fault, shit like that. Right. So
people that don't know the value of $1 who are because you're just giving it to them. You're parenting them at that point.
That's the thing. Yeah. When your friends come to you because they need money, like on a regular basis, then that's not a friend relationship anymore. No. It's a parent relationship. Yeah. That's an issue. So his dad here, Roger Brewer, is his dad that he calls his dad. That's the other guy.
That's the second stepdad or the first?
That's the first. The only other one.
Okay.
There's real dad who tried to give him $100, and then there's Roger Brewer who he calls his father, and that's how that goes. So Roger Brewer, while Zach was in school, from 5 years old to 13 years old, as he puts it, he was in jail. Said, I was locked up when Zachary was 5 to 13 years old. So that's tough. He said, quote, I was never there to teach him right from wrong or to give him money so he didn't have to steal those pants like the other kids had.
Yeah.
That's tough, man. Yeah, I would feel bad as fuck. If I was sitting in jail and my son got arrested for stealing pants because I'm not there to buy him pants, I would feel fucking bad. Like, I know I left them in a tough situation where they couldn't afford pants.
He can't afford Walmart pants.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what I mean.
It's not even like he's
he didn't go to Gucci and
fucking right. Not shoplifting Tommy Hilfiger in 97.
He went to he said, what's the most acceptable like level of theft I'm willing to do? Like,
right.
It shows a little bit of humility and humbleness to steal from Walmart and not go, because if you're going to steal jeans, get the best jeans. But he was like,
go get good ones at least.
I'm not going to go too crazy. I'm just going to just want some ones that aren't crusty. That's all I'm going for.
He takes one candy when it says take one candy.
Dude, if I was like the manager of a Walmart and there was a 14-year-old, 13-year-old kid stealing a fucking pair of jeans and he had like some shit crusty jeans on and he's stealing a pair of fucking jeans, not anything expensive. He's not stealing video games or some shit like that that's for fun. This is clothing. Food, clothing, shelter. Those are your, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like I would,
gotta have.
I would fucking, I don't know, man. Like, let's all chip in a buck and get this kid this pair of jeans and not arrest him. What do you say? You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe that gesture will help in the future.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll go, oh, fuck, man, I don't want to steal from people. That's not cool. You never know. You never know what a gesture like that could do. The whole staff, a buck apiece, you could have got this kid.
As soon as you sit him down and say, why are you stealing? And he says, because the pair of jeans that I'm wearing right now are the only ones I own.
And people call me crusty. That's why.
Right.
As soon as I heard that, I'd be like, oh, for Christ's sake. Get your crusty ass out of my office and take those jeans with you, please.
I'll take it out of my paycheck. Get out.
Fuck, dude, I'd feel terrible. Yeah. So anyway, his dad here says, quote, despite not having much support at home, even though his mother is a good lady, she has a better head on her shoulders than I do. He said, then they talk about his brother, Roger. He's got a brother named Roger who's an amazing athlete we'll talk about.
Really?
But Roger's got a lot of fucking problems, and we'll get the full arc of Roger over the course of the story as well. Okay. He says about Roger, this is dad, quote, Roger's a better athlete and might be a better basketball player, but he won't be as successful as Zach will. Zach's a good kid who has made mistakes. Roger would rather be a thug out here on a corner with these other kids. I worry about him, but not about Zach.
Real?
He said that in the newspaper about his son, who was like fucking.
Unbelievable.
His son was like 15 at the time, and he said that about him. my son's a thug who ain't gonna amount to shit. Like, he's a sophomore. Maybe fucking try. I don't know.
I already see it. It's in his eyes.
I mean, shit. Yeah, there's nothing you can do about it. I guess by the time they're 15, remember season 4 of The Wire?
Yeah,
but
15,
too late.
Then they're long gone.
Too late. So anyway, it's actually not, but you can fucking, I don't know, maybe try, I don't know, a little bit.
I would say 25's not too late.
Now that you're out of prison, try with this guy.
Yeah.
So August 1998, Zach is 17 years old, and he has a son himself.
Oh my, Zach, what?
Zach has a son himself. His name?
No way.
Well, it's close. This is Zachariah. He found a junior loophole right there.
He sure did.
He found a junior loophole. That's fucking wild.
Just another way to call him Zach, but not hit him with Zachary.
That
We're
is
just
weird.
Throw an IA on the end.
Yeah. That's so fucking weird. Zach, you're still Zach, but Zachariah instead.
Is it McKinley?
I don't know what the middle name is, but I hope it is. Because if it's just McKennariah, if it's McKinley, I'm calling that Junior. I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
We still call him Zach.
Yeah.
You know, the Raya and Ori doesn't fucking matter to me. Araya or Ori is not the important part. Fuck that. So Marion High School, where he plays basketball, has a very good tradition of winning here, apparently. They've won, at this point, when he's in like 1999, 2000, they had won 6 state titles already. So that's big. They won 3 straight state titles from 85 to 87 in Indiana.
Really?
Yeah, Indiana is like, they're crazy for basketball in Indiana. It's known as, like, for years they always said there's more hoops than people in Indiana. It's just the way it is. Like, they're fucking crazy. The movie Hoosiers came out in, 86, about how crazy they are about basketball in Indiana. So for this team to win state titles 3 years in a row, that's incredible. That's incredible in Indiana. Great competition. Now, Brewer, the father, he says, Roger Brewer, he says, quote, if you're a black man in this town, you better be a good basketball player. Otherwise, a lot of people will look at you as just another black person up to no good. That's why I can't wait for Zachary to get out of here. He keeps saying that.
Really?
Yeah, he keeps saying that. And then he said, they asked him about now Zach's got a son he's got to watch out for. And he said this, quote, I told him you better not have another one until you're married.
Yeah.
It's enough goddamn kids for you. He says, Zach's biggest problem isn't that he's a bad kid. It's that he trusts people too much around here, which that's exactly what the other guy, like it's everybody has the exact same fucking thing about him that knows him well and has been around him.
Yeah.
Good guy, nice guy. When his friends are around, run for the fucking hills, basically.
But it's fascinating. You know, they don't expect him to be that way because that's, I guess, what you're not supposed to do. But some kids, when you don't have the father, you latch on to
dads in jail, moms at work.
Yeah.
Who you around?
Right. What am I going to piss them off and then they're not around?
And
I'm already lonely.
You're the oldest sibling, so you hang out with your fucking kids, younger siblings that are way younger than you. Like, that's boring. You don't want to do that. So you're going to look for, I get it. It happens, man. So he plays for Marion High School here. As a sophomore, he led them to the 4A championship game. They lost the game, but they went all the way there. As a senior, we'll talk about that in a second, too, because there's some trouble in his junior year, as we'll talk about. As a senior, he led the team to the state championship game, and they won their 7th state title with him there. He finished second in Indiana's Mr. Basketball voting that year, behind Jared Jeffries, who, as we know, went on to play. He played for U of A, I believe?
I don't know.
I want to say. I think he did. I think he was went on to play for a big-time college program. So anyway, he ended, because Jeffries ended up on the Knicks later on.
Really?
Yeah, so he definitely played in a big college program because he's in the fucking NBA.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. We're going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles,
a big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud,
sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify. In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. We're going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles,
a big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud,
sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.
So 1999 problems are mounting here. There's already a buzz on Zach that he's got issues because he got in a fight. Who cares? And then he stole a pair of jeans when he was 14. Who gives a shit? Right. Like, I don't care about any of that shit. If I'm in reality, does that matter? Any of that stuff?
No, not particularly. Yeah.
No. And when you're a big guy in high school, people will fucking try you. And you never know if he had to shut somebody the fuck up. You know, who knows what happened. Yeah. So, anyway, the problem is in February here of 1999, he ends up having to plead guilty to 2 counts of receiving stolen property.
Oh, boy.
And that's a big break, by the way, because what he ends up getting charged, what the crime is could have been worse than that. So anyway, after that, he ends up going to the Nike All-America basketball camp and all this type of shit. But every article about him is like, hey, this great player, but blah, 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 blah. Here's his past. Here's what he did. He pleaded guilty here. Basically, he had a couple of guns that we'll talk about. That was the problem. Yeah. He's being recruited hard by pretty much everybody. Michigan State, the hardest, though, for some reason. They're really after him. But it's getting rough. Basically, he said he isn't sure. Later on, he'll say he wasn't sure why he accepted 2 guns from a friend of his, Jesse Rosales, in the park in Marion just before Christmas. But he sold one of the guns for $120, and he put the other one in the trunk of his mother's car. And then later on, someone got busted, and it got traced back, and then the cops go after Zach, and he ends up getting caught and all that kind of shit. So he told the judge here that he didn't know, he didn't know the guns had been stolen from the gun barn in Jonesboro, Indiana.
Oh, boy.
Somebody broke in, stole a bunch of guns from a gun store, and was selling them on the street. He bought 2 of them and fucking sold one of them and kept the other.
Boy.
But in court, when you say, well, I didn't know they were stolen, I just thought a guy had a trunk full of guns.
Right.
The judge said, quote, did you think Rosales was the gun fairy? When judges make
Your Honor.
when judges make sarcastic comments like that, it's not going well.
No,
just a tip for everybody out there.
Gun fairy.
The gun fairy. So he is sentenced to here, you, sir, or you, young man, I guess, may fuck off, 40 days in juvenile detention, with 10 of the days suspended. He gets locked up for, 15 days right away, and then 11 more days after he finishes his junior year, I guess, because it was over. They did it like on school vacation, so he could still go to school. Nice. Yeah. He was permitted to play basketball at a tournament in Colorado Springs from June 23rd to 27th, and also to leave Marion to go to Indianapolis to play. And that's how it goes. They also said he's done 51 hours of his 60 community service hours that he was sentenced to at that point. And he did it mostly in a soup kitchen where he said he served food. Nice. Yeah. And he learned a lot. And I was like, well, you know what it's like to be poor. That's not the lesson you need to learn.
What he learned was, hopefully, don't buy guns from people when they're great deals on the street. They got bodies or they're stolen. One of the two.
Yeah, people don't just sell guns for a great price at a park for no reason. That's usually rare. Like, rare. You know what? No one says, I gotta sell this. You know where I'll get top dollar for it? Down at the park. No one says that.
In between pickup games.
I feel like maybe
a little fire sale at half court.
Maybe a child will buy it. Awesome. And then you sell it to him. I mean, Zach, in that guy's defense, Zach, even if he didn't know Zach looks 34 at this point. So he's... So the judge rules against... He's weird. He looks both young and... He looks both like a baby and an old man at the same time. He looks like an old baby.
Depending on the angle you look at him or what you're looking for.
How sweaty he is. He looks like an elderly baby.
Yeah.
Very strange looking man. Just weird. And not an ugly guy either, just an elderly baby. It's strange. Yeah. So the judge ruled against allowing Randolph to serve his time on weekends during the school year because he said this isn't even your first arrest. This is your third major deal here. So his probation, which prohibits him from leaving Marion, makes exceptions for basketball. But he says that he can't wait for his probation to be over on his 18th birthday. He said, quote, "It's embarrassing to talk about the stupidest thing I've ever done. I'm looking forward to the day when people will stop asking me about my past, but I'm not sure if that day will ever come." Hasn't come yet, Zach. We're here.
Pretty serious charges, Zach.
Yeah, well, the one was not serious.
The one's not so bad, yeah.
But the second, and I can let the second go. I'll let a fight go all day. I got in a lot of fights when I was a teenager. It's fine.
The problem is they're escalating rapidly.
The guns is you don't need to be touching guns at that point. There's people who go, yeah, sure, I'll fuck with stolen guns in a park, and then there's people who go, I don't want to touch those. Don't get my fingerprints near those fucking things. Zach's going the wrong way. Yeah, he said, quote, "I shouldn't have been nowhere around those guns. I made a poor decision, and it will never happen again." I guess it was there was 20 guns stolen from the gun store in total, by the way.
Oh, my.
He said, it was so stupid, I still can't believe I did it. I refuse to blame anybody for what I did, and I'm sorry for what I did, but at the same time, I can't dwell on it forever. I have to keep it in my past and move forward to the great things that are waiting for me. That's what he has to do. I'm good now.
All right.
Fine, which he's 17. He's fine. No, we're not.
He shouldn't not be.
We're not throwing Zach away at all here. He said, being in the center was a bad experience, but I looked at it as a learning experience. I made a mistake, I dealt with it, and I kept my head high. So, I mean, maybe your head should be a little less high at this point, is what we're saying. A little I'm a moron would help here. Head down, focus on what you want to do. As a kid.
Feet a little bit.
As a kid. But, I mean, shit, it's crazy. When we talk about, like, boxers and shit, like, there's never, like, hey, calm down, because we don't care about school for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to get beat in the head anyway. Did we even? Yeah. I don't even know if last week. I don't even know if Chuck Wepner graduated high school. I know he went to the Marines or some shit, but who knows how he got there? Yeah. Like, we don't know. He could have been a huge jerk off, but he wasn't like in the spotlight of high school sports, so it was hard to tell. So this is his coach here. His coach said, a guy's trying to get rid of the guns, and Zach takes 3 of them home. Zach isn't going to go out as a junior in high school and start using assault rifles. His idea was he was going to sell these and give some money to his mom. Okay? He said the police show up at his doorstep, and to show you how he didn't think he did anything wrong, the police say, hey, Zach, we understand you're in possession of some stolen merchandise. What do you have to say? And he goes, well, yeah, it's right over here. He goes and shows them the weapon sitting there. He says, I'm sorry. He thought they were going to give him a slap on the wrist. Well,
what?
Being used to being pampered doesn't mean that that you didn't think you did anything wrong. You just thought you could get away with it. He's a kid, so he was too stupid to realize that trafficking in stolen guns is actually a big crime.
Yeah.
He didn't notice that. He was just like, I'm sorry. Here you go. My bad.
Doesn't realize the danger in that?
Yeah. So, I mean,
that started out like a math word problem.
Yeah.
Zach goes to the park and buys 3 guns.
he buys 2 guns. He sells 1 gun for $120, puts 1 gun in the trunk of his mother's car. How many guns will Zach have once the police arrest him?
How many years does Zach get for that?
So he ends up not being allowed to play for most of his junior season because of this. Yeah. They kick him off the team. People. It's weird, too, because the coach said he remembers getting criticized from different people. Some people thinking that he shouldn't have even been allowed on the bench at all to play because he would still be with the team but in street clothes and he wasn't allowed to play. Other people said he should have been, he never should have been kicked off the team. We should have embraced him and let him play and all this shit. So he comes back for his senior year and they're going to let him play for that. So all of that here. He said that people would bring signs with jail bars when he started playing after he came back. Yeah. So he'd go over and joke around with them, and then by the end of the game, they'd be his fans. That's what the coach says. Okay. He tries to give some humor to people. It's not bad. He issues a big apology for it. He issued a big apology. His mother said, quote, his mother was pissed off. His mother said, I was hurt. I didn't want to believe it was him. I was sick and crying. I was crying for him. Oh. I feel bad for his mom. Yeah. So, but now she said it's all different his senior year. Shit has changed. She said, quote, he comes home from school and he doesn't hang out. That's it. He even thought about leaving Marion, but they think they're going to stay there and whatever. His mom said there's been talented guys, or no, this is a coach. There's been talented guys who've come from Marion who got into trouble who haven't made it. I don't want to be labeled as just another Marion thug. That's Zach talking. So he wants... Yeah, he's got problems. He wants out. But it does not stop the college recruiters, though. That's the thing. None of these things stop the college recruiters at all. Fuck no. Especially Tom Izzo from Michigan State. He's like, I don't give a fuck if that guy killed 5 old ladies. Yeah. He's a rebounder. We need a rebounding force down low.
Also, Michigan's a little dangerous in some areas. We could probably use him.
He's not a bad kid either. That's the thing. He's not a bad. Everybody says he's a real nice kid. He's not a shithead. He's not a bad kid. You just get him outside with his friends, and anything is possible. He could end up in the wrong place at the wrong time. So dumb shit would be better than bad kid, I would call him at this point. Tom Izzo said to him, he wrote him a letter and said, quote, you know how we feel about you.
Oh boy.
Wow, that's a love letter.
A nice love letter, yeah.
You know, that sounds like something, you know how I feel about you. I have made it clear over these many years. You know, you don't seem to feel the same about me, but I'll still be here in case, you know, this is like some unrequited fucking dude right into a chick in prison.
Check a box.
Yeah, check a box. I still can't believe that you could go any place that wants you more or to a place that has more time in recruiting you than we have. He's saying you're going to love it here. He ended up, Zach had 2 huge cardboard boxes filled with letters from colleges. Wow. Just huge boxes full of fucking letters. Hundreds of these letters here. He was considering Michigan State, Purdue, UConn, Syracuse, Miami, Marquette, Tennessee, Massachusetts, and West Virginia.
Good teams.
Is where these are all, you know, tournament teams a lot of the time. They said that the first day you could start recruiting kids was on June 26th. That's when the college coaches are allowed to start calling them. So 7 a.m. June 26th is when he got, like, the phone just started ringing off the hook.
Yeah.
That's fucking wild, man. He said, though, that Michigan State was the first school to show interest in him when he was just a sophomore. He said, that's why I give Michigan State so much respect. They were the first big-time program to call my coach, and I'll never forget that. So, yeah, he's Michigan State's always the first school he talks about when he talks about all the ones he's considering. Yeah, he says a lot of people are from Michigan State and other ones are and other schools, their alumni are lobbying the coaches to not recruit him because they're saying he's a bad kid, which is pretty fucking stupid, honestly. He said, but I guarantee if somebody spent a couple minutes with me, they wouldn't think I was a bad kid or a thug. I wonder if people who look down on me ever made a mistake in their life or know a good person who did. I realize the mistake I made wasn't a small one, but I've learned a valuable lesson from it that has changed the way I carry myself. I've learned to stay away when I think trouble is coming and to stop hanging out in general. I have just started to learning to say no to people. I can't throw away a chance to go to college like I almost did. He's saying all the right things. Then he said, I'm not a bad guy. I was a little kid when those things happened.
A big little kid, but
you were a junior in high school. That's not a little kid. Calm down. Calm down. The jeans thing, I'll give you a little kid on that. You were like 13, 14. I'll give you that. But when you're a junior, you've gotten a blowjob by then. If you're
got a baby.
You're the star basketball player. This was right before that. If you're the star basketball player, when all the crimes happen, you've gotten a blowjob. When
he was 17, he had a baby, didn't he?
Yeah, but he got busted with the guns when he was 16.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, wow. So he's talking about that. So, you know, you're not a little kid if you've gotten a blowjob before. That's when your little kid status ends. The first time you go, oh, my God, this is the greatest thing that's ever happened in the world. You're not a little kid anymore.
You guys, it's so wet and warm in there. Look at this.
I finally found out what my special purpose is for.
I want you guys to see this. I really do. It's amazing.
It's incredible. So one coach said, quote, he's the number one post player available this year. He's the consummate power forward. What he does in the low post doesn't happen much anymore. He's a strong guy with, moves inside is what he is. They said that, you can't stop him if he gets the ball within 15 feet of the basket. He's got a jumper. He's inside, and he overpowers people on the glass. He says, quote, God gave me this body, so I better use it. I don't like to brag, but I don't think anybody can stop me in the post.
That's a fun sentence.
Doesn't like to. God gave me this body. You look in the mirror and say that sometimes. God gave me this body
every day,
and now I know why I'm an atheist. So
God gave me this body, that motherfucker,
that son of a bitch. He was at the USA Basketball's Men's Youth Development Festival in Colorado Springs, Colorado. In 26 minutes a game over these tournament, or whatever the fuck it was, series of games, he averaged 20.5 points and 19.5 rebounds with 2 steals and 2 assists.
Wow.
Dominating. In the 2000 McDonald's All-American game, he was the MVP of the game.
Is that right?
With 23 points and 15 rebounds.
Holy shit.
I mean, that's the best high school players in the country.
Sure is.
And it's not bad. Problem is, he has a hard time satisfying academic requirements to get into a college. He has a 2.2 grade point average, and he took the SAT twice, but he never reached the 940 score to be eligible back then. You had to get a 940 on your SATs. So he says, though, that he's confident that he'll do well enough when he takes it again. He's going to take it again in October. He says, quote, I'm going to get it this time.
I'm going to go hard.
That's his quote. That's it. His coach says, quote, oh no, this is his gym rats coach. He's a fun-loving kid who made a mistake and now he's paying for it. I know he's going to be a better person. There's a lot of remorse on Zach's part now that word is spread. So the NCAA decides they're going to let him play anyway. Okay. It's weird. They said no, and then he appealed it, and then they said, all right, fine, you can play. Because of the grades, that was the problem. So he was granted, apparently he was granted freshman eligibility even though he was 20 points shy of the necessary SAT exam score. So there was a big kerfluffle over 20 points on an SAT.
Extra credit on the 20 points?
He should have just made a speech. Look, I'm only going till I can get drafted in the NBA. I don't care about this. This isn't why I'm going here.
Don't worry about me. I'm
fine.
I won't drag the GPA down of everybody around me. I'll be out soon. Yeah.
It's fucking stupid. He said that he worked hard to raise his grade point average to a 2.7, his high school coach said, and he worked extra hours with counselors and was tutored by a Marion student who got a perfect score on the SAT. Okay. But he couldn't quite crack it there. So for a minute there, when the appeals are going through, he starts saying, maybe I'll just go right to the pros.
Okay.
That's an option. Fuck it. He almost did it, actually, but his mother, May, actually stopped it from happening. There was agents at his house, Carl and Kevin Poston. They're Penny Hardaway's old agents at this point. Sure. They had contracts in their hands, representation contracts, sitting at the kitchen table in May's kitchen there. And Zach says, quote, I was about to sign, but my mom said, I don't think that this is a good idea. You need to go to school. Those guys had the papers right there on my kitchen table in a house that was no bigger than this trainer's room, which is the room he was sitting in when he's being interviewed. My mom kept saying, I don't think you should do that. So I looked them in their eyes and I said, I can't do it. That was a big moment. So he decides to go to college. They let him in, and he goes to Michigan State.
Really?
Yep, they were after him since he was a sophomore, and that was what came through.
With a 2.7.
That's it. He's going. He raised it to a 2.7. So 2000-2001, Michigan State. They had won the national championship the year before, by the way.
Oh, okay.
So he's coming on to a, walking on fucking air here.
High
these
hopes,
people.
Yeah. This is tough, though.
It is. It's a tough thing to go into. They go 28-5 in the regular season, though.
Not bad.
Yeah, this Jason Richardson is on this team too.
Is that right? Oh,
yeah, and Charlie Bell as well. So you got Charlie Bell, Jason Richardson, Zach Randolph on a squad. So I mean,
it's tough to lose.
It's going to be a pretty good team there. Not too shabby. So they go first round of the tournament. They beat Alabama State. They're a number 1 seed, so they kick the shit out of a 16 seed, 69-35.
They're lucky they got 35.
Alabama State scored 35 points in a tournament game. That's
an entire game.
That's a high school girls game is what that is, 35 points. That's not great. A junior high school.
Yeah.
That's bad. Second round, they play Fresno State. They beat them 81-65. So they're fucking smoking people, man. Yeah. This isn't even close. The next round, they play Gonzaga, who's 12th, and that's a dangerous one because Gonzaga is one of those teams. They're very dangerous. They beat them though 77-62.
Okay,
knock Gonzaga out. They're getting closer, but I mean better teams. You're playing better teams. Next up, they play against number 11 seed Temple and beat them 69-62. So getting close. And then finally, this is I think the Final Four game here. This is. Not the championship game, but the Final Four game. They play number 2 seed Arizona and lose 80-61 Arizona. Brutal, they got smoked there. So that's fine, though. He's a freshman. He plays in 34 games, which is pretty goddamn good. He 19.8 minutes per game, so he's playing about half the game. But he does come up with, where's his points here? He got 10.8 points a game. 6.7 rebounds and 1 assist per game for a freshman.
Yeah,
no, great for a true freshman here. One of his college coaches said he was never the hardest worker in the weight room or at practice or during individual workouts. Well, that's all three. But he had a way of putting the ball in the basket. Not the quickest guy or the strongest guy. He just had that natural ability with the ball in his hands. A teammate said he can't run.
There's no running with this guy.
This is an NBA player we've been describing. They can't run.
Very disparaging things about his athleticism already.
He can't run. Well, this guy really lays it down here. He says it all. Quote, he can't run. He can't beat anybody in a race. He can't jump. He couldn't jump over a phone book. He's got tiny little hands. If you ever shake his hands, he's got tiny hands, but they're some of the best hands in basketball. He just has a natural feel for how to play the game, to score, to create space against his defenders. He does. He's one of those guys. He's like a guy who's like a lot of times in the majors, you'll get a pitcher who does not look like a professional athlete at all, but they throw 97 miles an hour. And you're like, how the fuck does that happen? They just have this weird skill. That's Zach.
He can just do it. Yeah.
He's huge. If he was 6'4", he wouldn't have made it to. He wouldn't have played junior college ball because he would have been garbage. Nobody would fucking let him play. But some reason, if you're that big and you can make little moves and get rebounds, you're gold. So
tiny hands.
Yeah. So he declares for the draft this year. 1 year at Michigan State. He's out.
Oh shit.
Done. He's going to the draft, and he does. First of all, number 1 pick that year, Jimmy.
2000 when?
2001.
2001. Allen Iverson?
No, that's 97. 96.
Okay, I was close.
Yeah. 96.
2001?
2001 NBA draft.
Oh, my God. I haven't got a clue.
Kwame Brown.
Oh, that's why.
That's a bust right there. He did play 12 years in the league, Kwame Brown. You never think of him for playing 12 years in the fucking league, but he did. Number 2 overall, Tyson Chandler.
Wow.
These are both no college, right
Terrible.
to the NBA guys. Number 3, Pau Gasol, who ended up having a very long career. Not too shabby. Number 4, Eddie Curry, another straight from high school. Didn't work out very well. Number 5, Jason Richardson. He goes then. Then you got your Shane Battier and guys like that. Joe Johnson went to Boston, number 10. Richard Jefferson went to Houston, 13. He was coming off I think that's when Arizona won the national championship that year, right?
I believe so, yeah.
I think they did one of the years there, because I think 97 was the other one. Anyway, what do we got here? Zach Randolph, number 19 overall, they take Zach.
Not bad.
And then taken by Portland. So he's taken by Portland. Later on, nobody really. This is a really weak draft, man.
That was a bad year, man. Kwame Brown's number 1.
I'm looking at it. Jason Richardson's a player. Mm-hmm. Richard Jefferson was in the league a long fucking time. He's a great. Pau Gasol is better than a lot of people give him credit for, even though he's boring. That's really it for as far as like stars go.
Yeah.
That's it, man. And Tony Parker. There we go. Tony Parker went 28. He was pretty good. I mean, that's a really fucking weak draft. Anyway, bleak. So he overcame his shit to go to high school, go to the draft. Now he's going to get paid at least. At least he can get his mom out of here. No one's ever going to call him crusty again, Jimmy. Grace. We're going to say grace right here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
This is grace, I think. And it is. Even though he's got a lot of good things ahead of him, including money, he's got a lot of dumb things ahead of him, too. Let's talk about it here. Yeah. He talks about living in Marion. He's like,
really?
He thought about it. He's like, yeah, I'll buy my mom a house out in like the suburbs around the edge of the city where like the good houses are. He goes, I'll buy myself like 100 acres. He was talking about buying a big plot of land, building a big house on it. He goes, I could put a dog kennel out there because I want to breed dogs.
Oh, God.
So I could do this. I could put a basketball court in it. I could do all this shit because it's cheap to do around there. Right. And then he said, wait a second. Hold on a minute. Fuck Marion. Why would I want to go there?
Right.
He says, he didn't like it. He said that at one point he talked to a police officer, and a police officer said, I don't like you. And he said, why? You don't even know me. And he goes, we just don't like you. Because I don't know if that's true or not.
We know you.
We know you. This is a police officer in Marion told a reporter, this is a, quote, longtime cop in Marion, said, quote, Zach's a target. If I were him, I'd never come back. So there's that. But the police chief, he says no. He says, I can assure you no one in our department has any feelings about Zach that are unfair. Okay. Think about what he just said.
That are unfair.
That are unfair. Mm-hmm. Not that are, we don't have no bias against him. That are unfair. Right. Like we know to keep an eye out for him because he's up to no good is what they
we
said,
don't have
basically.
Any justified or unjustified feelings about that man.
Yeah. There's no, he didn't say we're not biased. We're not, we're not keeping an eye on him. None of that shit. He just says, well, everything we're doing is warranted. Yeah. I'd get the fuck out of there, too.
For sure.
Later, motherfuckers. So, 2001, 2002, Portland Trailblazers, and this was when they had I think this was the year where they went a whole entire calendar year without having 10 days go by where a player of theirs didn't have a police interaction. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
Some sort of police interaction of some kind. It was a crazy stat. So this is wild. We've talked about multiple people from these teams.
Yeah.
This year, they're coached by Maurice Cheeks. Mo Cheeks is the coach. They go 49-33 this year, which is
not bad. It's
pretty good.
Great. Yeah.
It's a good record. Almost 50 wins is a goddamn good season.
Good.
Yeah. 49. Yeah. They lose, though, in the first round of the playoffs. They're swept by the Lakers, which, sorry, that's Shaq and Kobe Lakers. You're getting crushed. Yeah. They went on to crush everybody for like fucking 3-4 years. It's just the way it worked.
About it.
Yeah.
Go to the East.
So, the East was weak at that point. So he's immature during this first season, to say the least. And, I mean, Christ, he's a young guy. He hasn't ever really been out of Marion much. He asked Steve Kerr at one point, who was a player still then on the team with Portland, he asked him, hey, when does the team get off for Christmas break?
What?
He said, you have a job, motherfucker. This isn't school. You don't get off for shit. What are you talking about?
Don't you remember watching NBA on TNT with fucking Christmas lights all over?
NBC does Christmas Day games, remember?
Yeah.
No.
And there's Christmas lights on the logo, and there's shit all over the stadium. So? The mascot's dressed up in a Santa outfit. What are you talking about?
Whole league shuts down for Christmas break. Okay. He's also fined repeatedly for not meeting his rookie weight requirement. He's supposed to lose weight, and he just doesn't. Yeah. He's a chubster his whole career, which is fine if if you're getting the job done. So his rookie season, he plays in 41 games, so exactly half the games, 5.8 minutes a game. They're not playing him much. Yeah. They think of him as they're bringing him along like a high school kid, basically. He's a project. He barely played at Michigan State. So they got a project
also
here.
In case Cliff Robinson gets injured, some shit like that.
Yeah, he's a contingency plan here. Right. So, and if they have a good team that goes to the playoffs, almost 50 wins, you're not just going to slip right in there. They probably have someone good in your place. So that is a 2.8 points per game he scores that year. So not great. He's barely in the game. They just want to get his feet wet and get him in here. May of 2002, though, he's getting to know the locals around Portland, including the police department.
Oh, no.
May 2002, he's arrested for underage drinking because he's still not 21 yet.
Right.
He'll be 21 in 2 months, and he's arrested.
20-year-old kid.
20-year-old.
In the NBA.
Yeah.
They're gonna.
Who cares? Underage drinking. Yeah, during the Memorial Day weekend. Problem is he was driving. But we'll talk about it. He's not drunk, though.
Okay.
He's arrested shortly before midnight. They stop. He's driving his SUV, and it matched the description of an SUV being used by gang members, unquote.
All right.
It's a dark-colored SUV with black guys in it, is what that is. So, I mean, give me a fucking break here. God damn it, dude. Seriously.
Good description.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. So the police said that his blood alcohol level was less than half the legal limit of 0.08. So it was low. For a big guy like that, he had a drink. But the legal drinking age is 21. And this is in Indiana, by the way. This isn't in Portland. This is back home.
Boy.
Never, don't go home. One of the crime and sports rules.
Stay
this
the
is why.
Fuck out of there. You got out.
Yep, it matched the description of another car that he drives, and we'd like to pull him over and see what he's doing.
Yeah.
So, he's arrested for underage drinking and driving and all that kind of shit. He said he could face a 180-day jail term if he's convicted of underage driving. The 19-year-old passenger in the car was also arrested, and the Blazers aren't making any comment about this. And that's how it goes. He did make $1,019,280 that year. So
not bad.
That's pretty goddamn good. Now we're talking. You can go to Walmart and clean that motherfucker out now. All the Wranglers and Rustlers that you can handle.
Clean up shop, sir.
That's it.
A few miles from the glass spires of Midtown Atlanta lies the South River Forest. In 2021 and 2022, the woods became a home to activists from all over the country who gathered to stop the nearby construction of a massive new police training facility, nicknamed Cop City.
At approximately 9 o'clock this morning, as law enforcement was moving through various sectors of the property, an individual, without warning, shot a Georgia State Patrol trooper.
This is We Came to the Forest, a story about resistance.
The abolitionist mission isn't done until every prison is empty and shut down.
Love and fellowship.
It was probably the happiest I've ever been in my life.
And the lengths we'll go to protect the things we hold closest to our hearts. Follow We Came to the Forest on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus.
He was hip-hop's biggest mogul, the man who redefined fame, fortune, and the music industry.
The first male rapper to be honored on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Sean Diddy Combs.
Diddy built an empire and lived a life most people only dream about.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up. But just as quickly as his empire rose, it came crashing down.
Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution.
I was up. I hit rock bottom, but I made no excuses. I'm disgusted. I'm so sorry.
Until you're wearing an orange jumpsuit, it's not real. Now it's real.
From his meteoric rise to his shocking fall from grace, from law and crime, this is the rise and fall of Diddy. Listen to the rise and fall of Diddy exclusively with Wondery Plus.
So 2002, 2003, Portland, they're 50 and 32. So they're hanging around this particular amount of wins. The first round of the playoffs, though, it goes all 7 and they lose to Dallas. So it's a tough one. Problem is, during this year, 2003, during a practice, he got in a fight with Ruben Patterson.
Really?
Got in a really bad fight where he punched Ruben Patterson in the face and broke his eye socket.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Zach.
You can't do that. That's
breaking a face.
That's bad.
Yeah.
I guess this is how it went down. Randolph noticed teammate Quintel Woods was arguing with Ruben Patterson. So Zach wasn't even fucking involved in this. So he got involved in it to intervene in Woods' defense. He did this by calmly walking up and stating his case and saying, Sir, I think that you're being unfair.
Yeah.
I think you're being unfair to Mr. Woods here, and I think maybe we should sit down calmly. Maybe we'll get like an organic tea, and let's all talk about this.
Let's discuss it.
Oh, no, that's not what he did. Actually, he ran up and sucker punched Patterson in the eye.
Oh, you
bitch.
That's
That's how he
a pussy move.
That's how he intervened in that. Damon Stoudemire said, I didn't really see what happened because I got the steal, so I was going the other way.
Right.
All I heard was, come on, Zach. I turned back around, and it was chaos.
And I was like, that's my boy.
Oh, man.
Because that's how Stoudemire behaves.
Well, this is fucking great. It gets hairier after that. So he finds out that he fractured his eye socket. Now Randolph is scared. Patterson's doesn't take shit. Have we done a Ruben Patterson episode?
No, I don't
He
think
doesn't take any shit from people, apparently. And apparently, quote, there was a period of a few days after the incident where Randolph hid out at Dale Davis's house because he feared that Patterson was going to shoot him.
Holy shit.
So he fucking hid out at Dale Davis. Protect me, Dale Davis. Hold me closer, Dale Davis.
Wait, Dale Davis is
He's
the
a fucking
shooting guard, right?
Oh God! Now I'm thinking of because I just thought of Davis on
Anthony Davis.
I just thought the other Davis. I just thought of in Indiana, and that's not who we're talking about. We're talking
Different
about
Davis.
the guard Davis. Yeah. So hung out at Dale Davis's house till shit calmed down here. Ruben Patterson, though, later on ended up being pretty smart about the whole thing. I mean, he might have wanted to shoot him at the time. We don't know. But later on, a couple years later, he'll end up saying about Zach, quote, he was still a teenager when he joined a team that was known for having guys that got in trouble. He said, and I think the leaders on the team didn't provide positive influences and didn't deter any negative influences.
Yeah.
That's fair. I mean, they didn't blame it all on him. He didn't say he's a fucking asshole and I hate him or anything. That's fair. And we'll talk about his negative influences in just a moment after I tell you his stats here. He played in 77 games. This time he's 17 minutes a game. So, I mean, he's creeping up there. 8.4 points, 4.5 rebounds. So he's getting his, getting in there. Just they're working him into the program. He makes $1,095,720 though. So that's good.
Bad.
Not bad at all. Now to talk about these, quote, negative influences. And you won't find a human being around him that talks about him honestly that doesn't talk about his posse. And nobody. I mean, nobody. Players, teammates, friends, family. you name it.
This
They
was
all
a
go.
thing then, though, too.
Yes.
Like,
To
all
keep,
of these
quote,
guys,
you had to keep it real. That was
Right.
the thing. Unless you were bringing your friend, if you left your friends, then you were a sellout. You weren't keeping it real.
Yeah.
The 90s going into the 2000s were a lot about keeping it real. Like,
Yeah.
now it's motherfuckers don't care at all. They will fucking leave all their friends behind, then make a TikTok video about them dancing over it. I made this much money and they don't get a dime. Fuck these people.
Yeah.
Like, people don't give a fuck now. Real doesn't matter
No.
for shit now.
They
Nobody
want a
keeps
very
shitting
nice
anything.
suit and a girlfriend with $2 billion.
Yeah.
That's what they're looking for.
Back then,
And that's all they spend time with. They don't go hang out with their friends from high
No.
school anymore. And all those guys have like fucking nicknames for their posse
Yeah,
and
yeah.
all that shit.
Well, we have one too. There's a nickname with an
they keep going,
acronym and
too?
everything. Absolutely.
God damn it.
We'll get to it. Yeah. See, you gotta.
These fucking assholes.
It's weird, but this is what it was. There was a premium on realness, and really like hypocrisy was considered the worst. You know what I mean? Whereas now it's, people will say one thing and then kind of wink while they're saying
Right.
something else, and people go, I know what they really mean. No, you don't. They're all playing you dumb fucks. That's all it is. Not our listeners, of course, but other people.
If somebody called them on their hypocrisy, they'd be like, fuck yeah, man, I got a lot of money that I could get rid of, and
disgusting.
I don't want to do that.
On a daily basis.
Yeah.
On a daily fucking basis, people do that. I like that billionaire because he really cares about me. No, you don't, and neither does he. You dumb shit. None of these people care about you, and you don't care about them. Worry about your family, dummy.
Go back to work and shut up.
Again, none of our listeners we're talking about. Our listeners here are actually pretty fucking bright, and
You seem to get it, yeah.
a lot of people aren't. So his posse's name is the Hoop family.
Oh, my God.
Okay, Hoop is an acronym, stands for, quote, I'll give you a guess. What's Hoop stand for, Jimmy?
Okay.
What do you think?
Is
Horny,
Holla
older. What?
Is Holla in there?
It is not.
Okay.
Neither is horny.
Is
or
it something
Hooters.
about hitmen or some shit
No,
like that?
no,
okay,
no.
that's good.
It
It's
sounds like-
family, though, at the
it's-
end of it?
It sounds like it's Hoop is the acronym, and then families just he calls it the Hoop
just a
family.
word, yeah.
So I'll just tell you, it sounds like some community center, like what a community center would have, like a big banner in their basketball court where little kids play, and it would be like Hoop, and it'd have the words under it,
Yeah,
helping
happiness.
helping others overcome problems.
Oh, my God.
In other words, giving my friends money for doing very little
Giving
to
away-
help me.
Giving away all my shit.
Yeah, that's what that fucking means here. So, they would apparently, I mean, he took a few of them to Portland with him, moved him into his house and all this shit. And this is the house, by the way, that was featured on MTV Cribs, if you remember
Really?
the Zach Randolph MTV Cribs.
Does he have his kid living with him?
What do you think, Jimmy?
Okay. All right.
No,
Yeah, you're
he
right.
does not.
I get-
He says he went to Portland. That girl was a high school girlfriend. That ain't
Yeah.
still. He's not still going out with his junior and high school girlfriend. So
I'll send
he's
you a
done.
check.
Well, he says that he hates going to Marion, and the only reason to go there is to see his kid. Other than that, he hates going there. So, I guess all of the people in it, he buys big. Remember, like in the '90s, all the rap labels had their own medallion.
Chain, yeah.
The medallion, you had the No Limit, you had the fucking
Yeah.
Death Row, you had all those. Well, he had one for his friends made.
He had it made?
Oh, yeah,
my God.
with HOOP. Big gaudy necklaces that say Hoop on them. That's the Hoop family.
Helping others overcome problems.
Helping others overcome problems.
Just giving them money. How are you helping them, Zach?
Popping my
I
husky
give 'em
snaps.
an allowance.
Popping my husky snaps and helping others overcome problems. The story of Zach Randolph. So, but these people did not help him at all.
No.
It ended up being like a dozen people he ended up having around him at all times, which is just
That's too much.
too many. And all these necklaces, by the way, all diamond and everything. They look like a rap labels necklace.
They're $50 grand.
It's fucking crazy. They'd be all over the locker room and shit like that. It's fucking crazy. But when he
These guys are hanging out in the locker room?
Oh, yeah. He's bringing his friends in there. By the time he gets traded to Memphis, like the minute he gets traded, the guy's MySpace pages, all of these guys have Tennessee listed as their home immediately. As soon as he got, like, the same as him. We're going there.
Just moving with him.
Yep. Now, he said, Tom Izzo said he never saw any evidence of this posse at Michigan State. That's because he didn't have any fucking money. That's why.
Right.
It's funny. Where was the posse hanging out with you when you weren't spreading money around, taking them out and picking up the tab?
Yeah, working day jobs is what they were doing then.
Yeah, exactly. So Tom Izzo said, I think that would have been a problem, but I think that's a problem with 90% of the players in the NBA. I think that's a little steep of an estimate, probably. It's probably more like 10%, but okay. Half the reason you have a posse is that you're a giving guy, and Zach, to me, is a caring guy. I mean, your posse is made up of guys that you're funding, for God's sake. So maybe somebody has to point him in the right direction. I would say so, Tom Izzo. I think you're correct here. So 2003-2004 season, the Blazers are 500, 41-41. Okay. No playoffs.
No.
That doesn't go well. And again, Zach, another arrest this year. I mean, he's got to stack them. This year, December 2003, he's pulled over for erratic driving.
Yeah.
And police not only smell, there's a cloud of smoke pouring out of the car. It's a Cheech and Chong situation.
Hell yeah.
So he's arrested for possession of marijuana, and I believe it was definitely driving under the influence of marijuana and a possible possession charge as well. He's taken into custody and all that shit. He said that quote later on when he got released, he said, "I'm up here to apologize to my teammates, to the organization, to the Portland fans." He's got this one down pat, and he'll repeat it constantly. He says, "This is an embarrassment, and it's a distraction to the team. I can't talk about what happened, but I want to apologize to all you guys."
Okay.
I'm good now, though.
Sure.
Again, clean. The silver response to this, the team, they give a very silver. Every team is super silver with Zach. They really like him.
Yeah.
Quote, this is the general manager of the Blazers. "He's had some difficulties in the past, as a lot of young people have. But I think the way in which he's handled those difficulties, coming out immediately and acknowledging he made a mistake back in the course of the season, I think that spoke volumes."
Sure does.
He acknowledged he made a mistake, stood up like a man before the media and fans, and apologized. I think I've been accurate in identifying Zach as a talent, but we've also identified him as a guy of some quality and character.
Hell yeah.
So I love how they make statements about how much he's shown his great character the day after he's arrested, which is hilarious to me. What he's arrested for is, whether it's bullshit or not or whatever the fuck it is, like, that is a funny way to make a statement. Yeah, the team says, "Until we get the facts, we can't respond. Certainly if it turns out that the tests are not what we'd like to see, then, as I said, there will be consequences." There won't be.
No, there won't.
And we will deal with that over the next couple days as we try to gather the information and hope something else happens to distract you people before then. So anyway, 2003-2004, though, he starts 80 games out of playing 81. Not bad. 37.9 minutes a game. That's a workhorse down low.
He's in it, yeah.
20.1 points a game.
And he's performing.
And 10.5 rebounds. He turns into a 20 and 10 guy.
A double-double. That's incredible.
A 20-10 guy is big. If you're 20-10, you're going to get paid for a long fucking time. They need those stats filled out on the sheets. You know what I mean? That's a lot there. And 2 assists a game as well. So not too shabby.
You're going to turn hoop into hoop because you're going to be helping others.
Yeah.
You're going to helping others overcome problems.
Soon, if you keep playing well like this.
Yeah.
He wanted to become an all-star that year, but he didn't make the all-star team. But he does win the NBA's Most Improved Player Award.
Yeah.
Which, that's a great award to win.
Great one, yeah.
He said, quote, "I wanted to be on the all-star team, but it feels good to win this award. It feels really good. I'm going to get back here next year, and I'm going to get even better.
Okay.
I'm going to work it out." The Blazers coach said they had a party for him about it and everything. They wanted to... Maurice Cheek said, "This is all Zach Randolph's award. It's about him. It's about him going out and working. Years ago, they talked about Larry Bird coming to the arena long before anyone else did. And that's the kind of thing Zach Randolph did this year and what really helped him achieve his goal." Yeah. So he did. He put the work in as a player, and it paid off.
We bought
Period.
him a shitload of weed.
A shitload. And he's young. He's only 22.
Yeah,
so
this is early.
This is traditionally before this time in our history when guys would just be coming out of college now.
Right.
You know, this is his 4th year in the NBA, or his 3rd year. That's 1 year of college. That means 4 years in college. That's when most guys would be done. Tim Duncan played all 4 years.
Right.
Came in a great polished player, played all 4 years of college, but he's getting
Zach
it.
Came in. Now he's a good polished player, but he's also got $5 million in his pocket.
That's the other thing. You have to pay the guy to polish.
Yeah.
Which good, fuck that. We can play for free in the NCAA. He gets paid $1,172,160, which is a good salary. Yeah. So it's that time again, Jimmy. Are you feeling an itch? He hasn't been arrested in a while, right? It's super weird. August 2004. Here we go. He's at Sinbad's Lounge and Grill at 2 a.m.
Do you think Sinbad's there?
I think he's there. I think he's on stage with giant pants on.
Fuck yeah.
You ever try to take a sip through that McDonald's straw? That big vein pop out your forehead? That's the only Sinbad joke I can remember.
It's a pretty good joke.
As I remember that one.
The milkshake joke?
Yeah, the milkshake joke. Because he talk about people not knowing what they want at McDonald's, and then he'd go into the milkshake bit, which was they give you this tiny-ass straw with this thicker, his eye would pop out and shit. It was funny. Sinbad's fucking funny. I'm sorry.
He is funny.
He's corny and shit, but he's a good.
He sure is.
He's corny as fuck, but he's like, if you put the right word, if he wanted to say the right words, he's a talented motherfucker and can do it. You know, he's a great performer. So
it's definitely very acceptable in every house in America, no matter what their beliefs are.
That's the other thing too. Yeah, everybody likes Sinbad,
and so funny.
Everybody likes Sinbad. It'd be hard not to. As a guy, you're like, it's Sinbad. Yeah, you're gonna hate him.
That guy seems fun.
So that's why in Always Sunny, when they made him all mean in that one episode, that's why it was so funny, because it's Sinbad. You're like,
what are you doing here?
The hell. So Sinbad's Lounge and Grill, 2 a.m., which is, we'll hear a lot of this now. Zach and an entourage of about 8 people are at a nightclub here, Sinbad's. Oh, yeah. Now, a witness reported that his brother, Roger Randolph, the one who his father said is a fuck-up when he was 15 and will turn into a thug. Yep. Oh, Roger, this is the tip of the Roger iceberg, boy. Roger gets into an argument on the dance floor, as Roger has wont to do.
We'll dance with your girl now, sir.
Zach runs up to try to get on his side, which, you know what? This is a growth for Zach, because at least he didn't sucker punch the other guy, which is what he did in the NBA. So apparently, at some point in this melee, beer bottles get thrown at the brothers, which are answered with gunfire.
What?
Yeah. The Roger Randolph returns this volley, upping the ante with bullets rather than beer bottles.
Holy.
Yeah. So this is about 2 a.m. inside the joint there, and Philip Corthan Jr., 30 of Muncie, was shot in the lower back.
Oh God.
He was released eventually here. He said, quote, this is Philip Corthan, considering the situation, I guess I'm doing all right. I'm not as good as what I was when I entered the club, though.
I'm sure, yeah.
No shit, not looking to dance. Also shot, Terry Hill, 29, who was wounded in the right arm and upper chest. Also Travis A. Wilson, 25, who was also shot in the arm. Holy shit, his brother shot 3 fucking people.
Unbelievable.
Just randomly firing into a fucking nightclub crowd because he's mad at a guy.
You're not supposed to have a gun in a club.
Probably not, no.
It's a bad place to have one.
Roger left the scene of the shootings before any investigators arrived, but later went to the police and was placed under arrest. Zach Randolph was apparently on the scene and right next to his fucking brother there. Zach apparently answered some questions, and then the police were satisfied with his answers and let Zach go that night. But then several witnesses gave a different shooting of the version that Zach gave, so they ended up pulling Zach over and bringing him back in to talk to him, which he then ended up sitting there till 7 o'clock in the morning in the police station. Roger is arrested on 3 counts of criminal recklessness, which seems attempted murder. Yeah. What are we talking? You shot indiscriminately into a fucking crowd, man. That's attempted murder.
That's a crazy lenient charge.
Wow. But that's just the initial charges, I guess, there. His bond is posted for him at $40,000. I wonder who did that. I'm going to say that might be Zach. Yeah. Prosecutors and police are going to continue to investigate. The prosecutor said he's trying to make a sense of the statements given by Zach Randolph. Apparently, what he says doesn't make any sense from what they said here. Zach told investigators that he didn't know who fired the shots. That's why. I didn't see him. Meanwhile, other witnesses, like dozens of them in the club, told investigators that Zach was holding his brother while Roger fired the gun.
While he's shooting it.
So his ears he can barely hear the cops' questions.
Yeah.
Between the bass thumping through the club and the fucking gunshots right in his fucking ear, he's going, what? I don't know, Hoosh. I wasn't near the gun. What? Huh? Can you write it down and I'll answer.
I didn't see.
I'm not yelling.
You saw the muzzle flash.
Yeah, the Madison County prosecutor said, quote, he's given information that seems to defy logic.
It's impossible that he didn't see it.
He loves to defy logic, Zach fucking. He really does. He said that the prosecutor's considering whether Zach should face charges of false informing as well over this, because he obviously is fucking lying if he, whatever. So the, what is this, the coach here? Oh, a Trailblazers spokesman. Now it's not even like the GM talking. They're like, send the spokesman out there, the one that nobody knows. We'll just send him out there. He'll take the heat. Mm-hmm. He said, the last conversation I had with authorities, I was told that Zach was a cooperative witness and he was not charged with anything. That's silver, baby. They said that Les Jackson, the owner of Sinbad's, unfortunately, it's not Sinbad.
Damn it.
Unless that's his real name, said that more than 100 people were inside the club when this happened. That's dangerous,
Holy
man.
Reckless shit, man. That's
Holy
insane.
Fucking shit, man. Finally, after a second interview with Zach, they decide not to charge him with false informing. Wow. His brother, though, has been charged with 3 counts of battery with a deadly weapon. That sounds more like it. Mm-hmm. Now, Roger, while out on bail, is down in Atlanta and is arrested on weapons charges a few days later after this happens. Again, it is his, by the way, it's his 3rd gun-related arrest in 3 weeks in 3 different cities, his brother Roger.
He shouldn't have one.
He's on a tour. Jimmy.
Yeah.
He's going on a tour to check out county jails for gun charges.
Oh, Christ.
He's doing an experiment to see what happens when you get arrested on gun charges in different cities. How do they treat you? What facilities do they take you to? We'll find out. So, wow, it's fucking ridiculous, man. Anyway, later on, the police said, quote, about Zach, he cleared up any irregularities or confusion that may have been in his first statement, which didn't contain all the facts. He lied once, then we told him we're going to charge him, and he went, okay, fine.
I'll tell you everything.
That seems like what happened there. So they said, although there were not charges, Zach, and for that matter, all of our players, this is the Steve Patterson, the Trailblazers president, all of our players need to be aware of their surroundings and work hard not to put themselves in compromising situations. Right. Or better said, duh.
Right.
Fucking duh. So 2004-2005 Trailblazers finished 27-55.
Yikes.
Not good at all.
Oh, no, sub 30.
That's bad shit here. Yeah, Zach has some injuries this year. He only plays in 46 games, starts 37, where he plays in 35 minutes a game, 18.9 points, 9.6 rebounds. So still basically 2010.
Right.
Not bad, but knocked around, injured a little bit here. $1,504,272 this year, though.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not a bad salary. So 2005-2006, they're even worse. 21-61. The Blazers are.
It's off the rails now.
Wow, that is fucking really bad. That's bad shit. Coach Nate McMillan now.
Yeah, that's how nice that town is. They'll hang on to you. Perform that terribly.
Well, what else do they have, Jimmy?
Yeah.
In Portland, honestly.
Nothing.
No football. No baseball.
Nothing.
No hockey.
That's all they got.
They got this. So hang on for dear life. If we start booing and stop showing up, they'll fucking move somewhere down south or some shit. You know they were. You know they will.
Right.
They will be in fucking Tulsa before you know it, or some terrible place, like that, or they'll be in like some other Florida city. They'll be the Jacksonville Trailblazers before you know it.
Omaha Trailblazers has a ring.
Oh, Jesus, help us all. So he is suspended this year, though. Obviously, he's got to have some problem, for making obscene gestures to fans after a game in Indiana.
Oh, he flipped some people off.
He flipped some people off. That's just stupid. Who cares? But he does play 74 games, 71 starts, 34.4 minutes, 18 points, 8 rebounds a game.
All right.
Not bad. He makes this year, buckle up for this shit, Jimmy, $10,666,667.
In one season, he's made twice what he's already made. That's amazing.
That sounds great.
Good for him.
Good for you. June of 2006, though. It's that time again, Jimmy. Summer comes around. Yeah. Summertime. And the living is easy. Getting arrested is easy. Hey. Summertime and those cuffs go on easy. What the fuck?
Garnering police attention is easy. What
really
did he
is.
do?
Well, he's the passenger of a driver cited for racing in downtown Portland.
Okay.
We've been in downtown Portland. Our hotels. You can't race around there. The fuck are you racing? Are you nuts? The guy, Taquan Portis, was cited for speed racing, careless driving, failure to obey a traffic signal, and no front license plate. He was driving a Dodge Magnum registered to Zach Randolph, who was in the passenger seat.
Zach Randolph drives a Magnum? That's the station
He had a
wagon.
Dodge Magnum, yeah. I guess if you do it up enough.
Yeah, I guess.
Those look like Rod had one of those, actually.
Yeah.
It was all black.
Wagons.
It was black and blacked out with the upper whatever engine in it, and it was fucking mean.
Yeah, it's
it was a mean car.
Black. Yeah,
it was a mean little ride there. He just liked it because he could put his refrigerator. There was room for it. He had a little mini fridge. He liked to keep his cheese and stuff in. So it was great, dude. He'd pull up and he'd roll down the window, black tinted window, and he'd look at you, go cheese stick, and he'd like reach into a fridge and hand it to you. All right, sure, I'll take a cheese stick. Why not? I love a guy who's always packing cheese. That's pretty good. Cheese stick.
Smack you with a cheese stick.
So anyway, they're pulled over 3:15 a.m. This is going on as well. So
oh boy,
you're not blending into anything. Oh, by the way, they also found two loaded handguns in the car as well. There's that. But Randolph has a concealed weapons permit for the firearms, which if you're going to carry them around, thank you. There you go. So he has that. Problem is, August 2006, he's got more problems. It's a couple months later here. It's just got a lot of interaction. He's the type of guy, like when he sees the cops, he's like, Bill, Tom, like
how are you fellas?
Like, how's the wife and kids? How's Susan doing? Is she okay? How's her mom doing? I know she had cancer there, and she's getting better. That's good. I'm glad the treatment worked out. Anyway, so
Becky now. She's still playing softball.
What's your search warrant for again? That's how old's Becky now?
Welcome back.
It's what he's got going on. So apparently, August 2006, there is a sexual assault report taken. Okay, but he's not a suspect. It's a weird thing. We'll talk about this. According to this, to the prosecutor's office, Randolph offered $500 to watch a, quote, live sex show between two women.
Okay.
These weren't just two random women he met outside. These were women who did this sort of thing for money. It makes a big difference who you're offering that to. You just walked into a restaurant and offered people that. Right. That's crazy.
Two waitresses at Denny's, it's probably welcome. But IHOP, probably the same.
If there's someone who I'll lick her ass for $250, that's a different story. Then you're
entirely
okay,
different.
I'll make an offer then.
Yeah.
So this was two women here. This was on August 12th at the Hotel Vintage Plaza in Portland.
I've stayed there.
Yeah, I know you have. That's funny. So that's where it happened, Jimmy.
It's a pretty nice place. That's fascinating. I didn't know that came with the rooms.
Apparently it does. Portland is the place I've had the worst hotel luck in the United States. Almost killed a man. Then I was told to use the lobby bathroom to shit.
Was that the Hotel Vintage? I think it was.
Which one? The one we stayed in?
Yeah.
Might have been, yeah. That might be the one where they told me to use the bathroom downstairs rather than in my room where a bathroom would normally be located.
And they didn't even give you two chicks who lick each other's ass. What kind of place is this?
I mean, I heard a knock at the door. I didn't answer. You never know. Maybe that's what they were sending up. I don't know. They could have been very disappointed.
Enjoy Bridget and Vanessa.
Enjoy them here. I believe one of these women is named Hennessy, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not even kidding.
Is that right?
Absolutely. I think that was one of their stage names. If it's somewhere in the article. At some point, he has interaction with a stripper named Hennessy. I know that much. It turns into a legal issue. I know that in this story. Not sure if this is the one. He has multiple issues, obviously. Zach just can't stop just having his name in the fucking paper. It's like, bro.
He loves it.
Just go home.
Yeah.
Just go home. The problem is at home is where some of the crazier shit happens. We'll talk about like him and his posse, the way he called him and his posse. They drag race on the residential streets. They fire fucking guns off in the backyard in the middle of the night. This is in like an affluent neighborhood, like a really nice neighborhood with a bunch of like doctors and lawyers and shit, and then like him and the Hoop posse or the Hoop family are firing off guns and shit in the backyard. Fucking, who cares if you're a power forward, but you can't fire guns off in the backyard.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Lot.
It's all these rich people that went to college and medical school and law school, and then the power forward shooting guns.
He's shooting off guns, and then who the fuck is down there? So anyway, $500 he offers to view this live sex show, which they agree to happily. Yeah. Everybody agrees to it.
Decent wage, yeah.
Afterwards, though, Zach is disappointed with the performance.
That was $500?
Zach went, you know what? That wasn't up to my standard of performance. I'm sorry, ladies. You didn't make the show. You didn't do it.
Better. Yeah.
And then he said, I'm not paying you a dime. I won't pay.
Nothing?
I won't pay for that.
That was $0.
That 69 won't even get you $69. That's how little I think of it.
Wow.
That's $0. Now, somehow, I don't know if money was involved or what the deal is, but you would think, okay, that's going to be where the problems legally come from. Right. He refuses to pay. She gets mad. She attacks him. He throws,
services. Yeah.
Who knows? Whatever. Theft of services. Violence might end up at. And you can see an escalating situation happen too. So instead, as the night progresses, somehow by the end of the night, he took it from I'm not paying you for shit to him and his buddy both fucking this one broad from the two. Oh, okay. One of the two women. Him and his buddy end up fucking. I don't know if at the same time or that doesn't really matter. Yikes. But either way, the accuser, though, ends up telling police that Randolph's sexual advances were unwanted and that she had made several attempts to communicate with him but hasn't been able to. She said that she was, quote, extremely intoxicated throughout the episode. She said she drank 3 cocktails, then 3 double shots of tequila purchased by Randolph at a bar before they came to the hotel. Mm-hmm. She didn't describe, according to the report, any specific acts of force nor any threats by Randolph. And there was no medical records or anything like that, just to give the overview of it. Not that that matters, but she apparently on August 13th, though, she demanded $10,000 from Zach and threatened to seek legal action the next day if she didn't receive the money. Mm-hmm. So apparently Randolph ended up giving at some point in the night, he gave $500 to the other woman involved in the sex show.
Oh.
Who told the accuser, quote, Zach Randolph gave me money to have you shut your mouth.
Okay.
So he said, here's $500 he gave to the one girl to give to her to tell her to shut the fuck up. That was his attempted deal there.
Shipped it off for her.
Yes. Then the next day, she sought an examination at the hospital reporting the sexual assault. She gave a detailed statement which was consistent with her later statements, but they weren't able to obtain any forensic evidence or anything like that. So they were interviewing potential witnesses, the police were. They said, in the paper, they said, quote, the police bureau will now confirm that on August 14, 2006, an officer took a report of a sexual assault that the report involved Zach Randolph. However, the police bureau is not identifying Zach Randolph as a suspect in the criminal investigation. So apparently the team said, once we have all the facts, we'll act accordingly. In other words, we're gonna hold back on this one before we say anything. Eventually, no charges are brought against him, though. Apparently, he's accused of it, but the prosecutor said there was, quote, an insufficient basis to prove forcible compulsion and absence of consent beyond a reasonable doubt. Mm-hmm. They're not going to win, so they didn't charge him, basically. They said lack of forensic or medical evidence pose difficulties posed by the intoxication of the witnesses around everybody there, and delaying the reporting of the incident and contradictory statements that she made as well. And, So Zach's attorney released a statement saying, this event has helped Zach look at his life circumstances, and he realizes that he's a fortunate person.
Sure.
What the fuck does that mean? What does that mean?
I realize I'm privy to, and I have the opportunity to get as much of this as I want. I'm going to really think about the ones that I do this with.
He's look at his life circumstances and realize that he's very fortunate to be able to pay $500 to watch two women eat each other out. That's amazing. He realizes not everybody can do that. Not everybody can do that.
Really going to take this into account and try to watch as many as I can and pay my fair share.
What a weird thing. Okay, I guess fortunate that he didn't get charged, that it didn't go any further. I don't know.
And he has $10 million still.
This a lot. The Trailblazers, they have another statement on it. They say, it's disturbing to have any public discussion involving a Portland Trailblazer in any matter that portrays him and the franchise in less than a favorable light. We're pleased that Zach has acknowledged that these actions have embarrassed our team and our fans. We're undertaking appropriate steps to work with Zach and his representatives to ensure that he understands the expectations for conduct by all of our players as representatives of this team and our city.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's, I know you like live sex shows, Zach. What kind of conversation do you have with him there? I don't even know how
you're giving us the opportunity to everybody grow.
Yeah.
and don't go shopping for. How do you even broach that? I don't understand.
Because he met these women in a bar. Like, how do you I'll pay you $500 to fuck each other. Okay.
You fuck girls.
Cool.
$500.
$500. Okay. Well, now you've just called us. Now you've just said we're prostitutes. That's what you've just said to us.
Can I watch for $500?
Yeah, you've just changed this whole entire conversation. You made it
and also
because at first it was like
him.
I was say at first he could be like, "Yo, I wanted to watch you guys do something." Then we'll all maybe he was pitching a threesome. You know what I'm saying, or pitching some sort of orgy or whatever the fuck he's pitching. That's fine. But once you add money into it, now you've made it sleazy. Now it's not pure anymore. Now it's gross.
But if he's never seen it before and he's valuing it at $500, and now he sees it and it's not a $500 value to him, you know what I mean? That's the other part. Why? How are you appraising this?
I can't see how that wouldn't be worth $500, right?
I think that's a pretty decent deal.
It's a good deal.
Yeah.
It's not like he said, I want to pay $500 for two women to perform a sex act in front of me, and then just they picked two women and put them in front of me. He's like, I don't like either one of those. He picked the women.
Right.
Did she lick her? Did she lick her? All right, what do you want from these people?
That's $500.
What kind of sex acts are you looking for?
How much do you
trapeze
need her to enjoy
work?
It?
Yeah, what are we talking about? What the fuck are we doing here, Zach?
Nobody even squirted. This is bullshit.
I want it to be gross in here. I laid down plastic for what? For what? For why?
I want wet work around here.
Oh man, Jesus Christ! One of his old coaches said Zach is like a chameleon. What I mean by this is if you and I are sitting in a room and Zach comes in for a half hour and sits down with us, he would fit in perfectly. But then he can walk right out that door and get in a vehicle with two guys he has no business being around, and he can fall right into the trap and fit in. Whoever he's with, he can assume that identity. He's that guy.
Yeah, it's a great comparison, but nobody ever calls anybody a chameleon that's not a fucking lunatic.
It's an insult. It's always an insult.
Yeah.
It's always an insult. Yeah, unless it's like a sales manager saying it about a salesman. It's always an insult. Even then, it means... I mean, normally that's saying you're full of shit. That's why, like they're saying that's just how he is. They don't think he's calculating. He's just fits in with it. He just goes along with whatever. So that year he plays in 68 games, starts 67, 35.7 minutes a game, 23.6 points a game this year,
shit,
and 10.1 rebounds.
He's doing it.
He didn't make the All-Star team with those numbers.
Is that right?
That's wild, man. Yeah, that's strange.
How many powers were doing? I guess, I mean,
there's a lot of forwards back. There's a lot of them. Especially in the West. So $12 million, though, he makes that year. That'll take the sting off of not making the All-Star team. Sure. That just means you got a few days off in the middle of the year to enjoy your money.
Do whatever you want.
So March 2007, obviously, it's been a little while since he's had any problems. He asks for some time off. He needs a few days off because his girlfriend's cousin was murdered.
Mental Health Day.
So I guess he's got to hang out with her and, whatever. So, his girlfriend's cousin was murdered. And so they said, okay, they put him on bereavement leave to attend the funeral back in Indiana. But the next night, while the Blazers were in Seattle losing, he ended up not being in Seattle or not being in Indiana, but he was still in Portland, being at the Exotica International Club for Men.
What?
Which I don't need a lot of guesses to tell you what the fuck what that is. He was there until the middle of the night and left the club without paying his bill. That's how they found out about this.
Don't
He
do
stiffed
that.
him. What is it with him stiffing fucking naked women lately?
I don't know. He's got plenty of money. You got $20 million. Just pay the women.
If you're entering a situation where it's agreed upon, where you're going to pay them and they're going to take their clothes off and they fulfill their portion, you give them the fucking money. Don't walk
Shut
out
it
on
off,
people.
man. Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's probably for the drinks because you tip as you go. So it's not like he had a tips built up and stiffed the girls. He stiffed the fucking waitresses, which still sucks.
Right.
Yeah. They have to walk around with their ass hanging half out to get your fucking tips.
Right.
And they're not making tit tips. They're not.
Right.
They're not swinging their fucking tits in people's faces, so they're making less tips. That's bullshit to stiff those fucking ladies. That's not cool. So anyway, yeah, I don't know what it is. If he thinks there's tits out, it's like it's his domain.
It's free.
It's free. It's free. It's free for me. Yes, it's free for me. So yeah, he leaves there. So apparently he wasn't at a funeral. Instead, he was being cheap with strippers. Perfect. So June 28th, 2007, even the Trailblazers have had enough. They're like, how many times do we have to make the statement that we think he's a good guy, he's turning a corner? It's enough already. Yeah. Which for them is a shame because he's coming off a great year, almost 24 points a game and over 10 rebounds.
2 in a row.
But he's fucking up. So Portland, they're trying to clean their image up at this point. They trade him with Dan Dickow and Fred Jones to the New York Knicks for Steve Francis and Channing Frye.
Is that right?
Yikes. So he's leaving Portland now. He's going to sell his house and move. When he leaves, a sports columnist with the Oregonian named John Canzano said that the day he was traded, his inbox and his email and his voicemail were full with messages from Zach Randolph's neighbors.
Telling him everything.
Who were ecstatic that he was leaving. They were so excited. Apparently, they said he had huge late-night parties that one of the people quoted as saying, quote, friends shooting off guns at 3 a.m. and girls falling off the back of ATVs.
Holy shit, a party.
That's a party.
Parties.
That
Jeez.
sounds like, one of the Hussein kids is having that party back in the day. It's like Uday Hussein's house. Girls falling off. We shoot guns in back. Boom, boom. Girl fall off. Fuck her. Give her 500.
That's like a backwoods Alabama party right there.
That is fucking ridiculous.
Shit. Yeah.
Have you ever gotten a message out of the blue? Maybe you ignore them. Or maybe you end up in conversation. Maybe they tell you about an amazing offer. I can really show you how to make some money. And maybe that gets you into a lot of trouble. But this isn't a story about people like you, the people receiving these messages. This is a story about the people behind the messages, on the other end of the line. Thousands of them, working in a microcity built for scammers. From Wondery, the makers of Dr. Death and Kill List, comes Scam Factory, a new series about survival at the expense of others. Follow Scam Factory on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Scam Factory early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts.
Behind the closed doors of government offices and military compounds, there are hidden stories and buried secrets from the darkest corners of history. From covert experiments pushing the boundaries of science to operations so secretive they were barely whispered about. Each week, on Redacted, Declassified Mysteries, we pull back the curtain on these hidden histories. 100% true and verifiable stories that expose the shadowy underbelly of power. Consider Operation Paperclip, where former Nazi scientists were brought to America after World War II, not as prisoners, but as assets to advance U.S. intelligence during the Cold War. These aren't just old conspiracy theories. They're thoroughly investigated accounts that reveal the uncomfortable truths still shaping our world today. The stories are real. The secrets are shocking. Follow Redacted, Declassified Mysteries on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Redacted early and ad-free right now on Wondery Plus.
When he was traded, one of his neighbors, this is that guy Canzano, one of his neighbors told me he was going to celebrate by going into his own backyard and shooting off his own gun. Like I said, he's gone. The witch is dead.
Yeah.
So, Hoop family again here. To talk about them. The basketball organization in 2007, this is one of the reasons why they traded him, by the way, hired a private investigator to investigate what the fuck is Zach Randolph up to. Right. And they came back with a 3-inch thick file on his and the Hoop family's activities.
Oh, boy.
Going, wow, it's just crazy over there. I mean, the parties, what they do when they're out. Yeah. I mean, we've heard about a few incidents.
Sure.
There's fucking gunplay. There's a lot of crazy shit going on. Live sex acts. His parties are crazy, probably. Think about that shit.
That's what they do in public. What do they do in private, man?
Yeah. Shoot guns off and push women off the back of ATVs, apparently. So, wow. Apparently they said, this is John Canzano again. He says, quote, just before Randolph was traded to the Knicks, someone on the gang enforcement team at Portland Police Department told me to pick up the MTV Cribs episode that featured Zach Randolph because the police had a copy and noticed some disturbing details about the unsavory people who hung around Randolph. Mm-hmm. Basically, he had like a bunch of felons on TV with him in the house, and they were like, that guy's like did this and this guy did that, just to let you know. So the Trailblazer beat writer here for the Oregonian, he said, down at his core, Zach was and is a good person. He was also enamored with this kind of gangster life. He wanted to be seen in that light, which makes sense also. The GM here says he says he probably could have been more serious about his career, but he was a fun guy to be around with a good sense of humor. He says that what is this here? Oh, they said at one point they talked to him. They gave him an $84 million contract extension, as we'll talk about. And the GM remembers complimenting Randolph on the car he was driving because he said it was very practical. And he said, wow, I'm very impressed that you're not blowing your money on bullshit. You have a lime green Chevy Impala there. Look at you.
Yeah.
That's very practical. To which Zach replied, oh, no, I've got 3 Bentleys at home. So,
oh, no, please. I've pissed away a lot.
I got a lot of money. So, yeah. Or 1 Bentley. I'm sorry. I got the Bentley, not 3 Bentleys.
The Bentley at home.
The Bentley, not 3 Bentleys. I apologize. So, that's much different. He said that, quote, they were kids that didn't have a lot of money, and all of a sudden Zach was the leader of the party. They did some dumb things that young kids do, and Zach suffered. His reputation was hurt tremendously. Those are the kinds of things that might have been okay amongst his circle of friends. They really didn't know better, and in some cases they knew better and didn't care. He went on to say, quote, I would trust Zach with my kids and my grandkids.
Is that right?
At 2 p.m, I think you can trust him. But once the sun goes down...
Yeah.
I don't think
my
you can.
house without the Hoop fam. Sure.
Yeah. Once his dick gets hard, I'm taking the kids home because there's going to be crazy shit going on. 2007-8, he plays for the Knicks, who are terrible then as now as always. They're 23-59 that year with shit ass Isaiah Thomas coaching. They have garbage Eddie Curry, Jared Jeffries as he gets to play with again there. They have Stephon Marbury. Jesus. Let's replace Steve Francis with Stephon Marbury. Great. Perfect. Quentin Richardson also on this team here. And little Nate Robinson, who everybody likes. Everybody's got to like him. Fan favorite. So this year he plays 69 games, starts 68, 17.6 points, 10.3 rebounds. Okay. Not bad on a bad team. You got to carry a lot of the load. Yeah, almost. Yeah, he makes $13,333,333 though.
Oh my God!
So paid like a motherfucker. We'll just say
he's doing great.
He's doing phenomenally.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for him right now. So on MTV Cribs, by the way, there's a lot of people pointing shit out on here. He has a Mo Cheeks bobblehead doll sitting on his bar, who's his old coach in Portland who got fired. He has apparently, and this is a weird thing, a flat screen TV that's wedged in like next to a fireplace, but where the couch is set up, there's no way any human being sitting in that room could see the television.
What the hell is it for there?
So I think maybe he moved the couches to give more room or something. I don't know what the fuck he was doing, but then he has a Star of David on his pool table.
What?
But he's not Jewish, so I don't know what's going on with that.
What
but
is
it's
that?
Certainly a Star of David.
Wholesale, James.
I don't know. He goes, I bought it from this dentist, man. I don't know. Yeah. My friend Johnny Rosenblum, I bought it from. He was
moving. I was like, you don't have to take that.
I'll take that off your hands, and I like it. I like that star. It's kind of some, it's decorative. I like that shit. It's
different. I like it.
It's different. 2008-2009 season. Here we go. Let's go to a pizza place now. Berry's Pizza Cafe in Los Angeles. Let's go there, okay? In L.A. Let's talk about a guy named Gary Ferguson, whose name will come up more than once for terrible reasons. Gary Ferguson's going to end up suing Zach Randolph for what happens on this night in 2008, claiming that Zach attacked him in a pizzeria, which is a weird place to get in a fight. It just is. There's pizza around. What are we talking about here?
Yeah, you can make fun of him for his pizza order. You put pineapple on that, you pussy?
I don't know what there is to fight about while mozzarella sticks are on the premises.
It's very hard to argue with the smell of yeast and dough. It smells so good.
Bread and crust. Yeah, that's amazing. So apparently, Randolph allegedly verbally and physically threatened Gary Ferguson before, quote, attacking the guy. Attacked him. Gary's lawyer claims that his client walked away with damaged teeth, a messed up neck and back, and a knee injury that will require surgery and scars on his face.
Holy shit.
Took a whooping.
To the mat.
His lawyer, Raymond Brothers, this is Zach's lawyer, tells the press that he met with Gary's lawyer, who Gary's lawyer first demanded $250,000. Then Ferguson's lawyer dropped it to $200,000. And then coming in a bargain basement rate, tell you what, today only $25,000 just for you.
Holy shit.
Beat my client's ass for $25,000. Perfect.
He took all that damage for $25 grand?
$25,000, which seems like it wouldn't cover the dental bills.
No, let alone the knee injuries.
Broken teeth. Yeah, knee injuries,
face scars,
surgery, all that shit. So 25. Brothers, that's our guy, Zach's lawyer. He says that Gary's own lawyer said Gary was, quote, out of control and just wanted to get a quick payout. Zach's lawyer said it was a shakedown, and he walked out of there. Not going to let them shake us down, only to get a call from Gary's star witness who said the case would go away quick if they paid him some money. So that's how that all worked. The case ended up trying to go to trial, all this shit. It's odd that they end up making up after this because they're hanging out again a year later. Yeah, Zach's got to be a forgiving guy. So, Zach, bro, stay home. Yeah. At first it was driving around at 2 a.m., obviously, you're going to draw attention to yourself that way. But, hey, you want to drive around at 2 a.m. as long as you're not shit-faced, go ahead. He's got his weapons, permits for him.
Yeah, everything's good.
Everything's fine there. Strip clubs, hotels, bars, all this shit. We're like, come on, it's 2 a.m. We talk about it all the time. If something happens to you at 2 a.m. in a club, it's at least 50% your fault because you're there at 2 a.m. You know that there's trouble lurking. Right. There shouldn't be, but you know there is. Sorry. That's life.
That's where it exists. Yeah.
That's life. It's just the way it is. So all this shit, but then you can't even go to a fucking pizza place without getting in a melee? Like, what are we talking about here, bro?
Did they know each other before, or is it
no, they're friends. They came together.
Okay.
They fucking came together. Yeah.
Even worse.
He's part of the Hoop family, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Way worse.
This is even dumber at this point. So, Zach, take our advice. Stay home. Yeah. Just stay home. Go. You have so much money. Right. You can go home and make that you can make your home the greatest place there is.
Right.
Literally. Get everything. Put a fucking pool in. Put a crazy basketball court room with a stripper pole that spins around on the ceiling, and girls will fucking be dangling while they're nude and eating each other out while you're shooting hoops. I don't care. Do it all.
Up there. Yeah.
Yeah. Do it all. That's what I mean. Have a
bed,
like a bird cage without the cage. You know those old time things with the cage, but no cage, just a big platform with naked girls dancing and grinding on each other while you're doing layup drills. I don't care. If they want to get paid for it and you want to pay them, this is America. The man wants to be called Muhammad Ali. You call the man Muhammad Ali. So anyway, that's what instead he's doing all this shit. Go home. You can totally redo your house. You can get the best people on earth to redo your house. As a matter of fact, he calls someone in. And there's a knock at the door, and it's Dexter Manley, interior designer from New York City, and he says, "How is it you've come to arrive here? Oh my God, Zach, Zach, I've been here for 30 seconds and I've counted 8 stripper poles. 8. Zach, what are you doing in here? This place is crazy. Oh my God. Is that a wine cooler bottle? What's happening in this house? Oh my goodness. This is terrible. You know what? You're fighting in pizza places. That's you, sir. You, sir, are white trash. I'm sorry. You're white trash. I understand. I get it. White trash. White trash, white trash, white trash. I don't care what you say. ATVs with trashy.
People who came here.
With people. They're your friends, Zach. What are you doing? Oh, my God. You're fighting with them. You're sucker-punching teammates. There's girls falling off the back of ATVs while you fire guns indiscriminately at 3 in the morning. White trash, Zach. I'm sorry. Fix it up, and I'll come back. I'm sorry. Poof. And in a poof of boa and feathers and everything, he's gone. And Zach was ready to take a swing at him. He didn't know what the fuck was going on. He was like, whoa, hey, hold on a second. The Hoop family surrounded him. It was rough. Dexter's not afraid of anybody, though. He's not taking any shit, Dexter. He's seen some shit, and he won't take it.
Been through it.
He won't take it, Jimmy. He will not. So November 21st, 2008, the Knicks have had enough of him as well. They trade him to the Clippers with Marty Collins for Coutinho, Mobley, and Tim Thomas.
He ran through 3 teams before I even knew him.
Oh, absolutely. He was going off. Yeah, teams were, he's a good player, but he's got problems. So, yeah, for Coutinho, Mobley, and Tim Thomas. Where did Tim Thomas play? Villanova, I want to say?
I don't know.
I want to say Villanova.
College?
Yeah, I want to say Villanova. Anyway, he makes that year. You ready for this number? $14,666,667. That's a lot of fucking money.
That's amazing. Yeah.
That sounds awesome. That just sounds so good.
One season. It's incredible.
One season. Oh, my God. April 2009. It's that time again. The season just ended. Sure did. It's police time. It's police season, everybody. They're right on the branches. It's crime season.
It's time to spend that $14 million in the wrong places.
Oh, yeah, on lawyers. So he is arrested on suspicion of drunk driving after this, driving under the influence, but the charge is later reduced to 1 count of reckless driving. Plea bargain is what that is. So that's what he ends up getting here. He pleads to that. So he's so fucking... Stop.
So dumb. Yeah,
just stop.
So dumb.
July 17th, 2009, he is traded by the Clippers.
Yeah.
Remember, because he signed with the Clippers there, to the Memphis Grizzlies.
There you go.
For Quentin Richardson.
Really?
Yeah. So there you go. That's how Quentin Richardson ended up on the Clippers for a minute there. So here we go. He's good now, though.
Yeah.
We're going to say now that he goes to Memphis, it's a PR storm.
Yeah.
Every article is that he cleaned it up. I mean, Portland was the problem. Ever since Portland, there's been some hiccups, but really that's just him cleansing his system of Portland.
I got news for you. Memphis is lawless, babe.
Yeah, it is. But now he's like,
yeah,
I'm good now. That's all I needed was a change of scenery and, all that. I'm going to Memphis, even though all his Hoop family has all their MySpace pages changed to Tennessee as their residence. It's going to be completely different now. He said he has a baby daughter due in September.
Oh.
It's like his 3rd, 4th kid, but he's saying now that's going to change him completely, obviously. He said he has a family now and more responsibilities. Sir, you've had a child for more than 10 years. You have a fucking 11-year-old child.
Yeah.
You've had responsibilities, motherfucker. Like, what are you talking about?
Very close to driving.
Yeah, no shit, man. So he says, and I quote, you know what? No, this isn't in their own words. It has to be because it's the ultimate, I'm good now. And here we go. Let's get it on here. In their own words, quote, the past is the past. I don't even really want to talk about the past. From this day on, I want to erase all that.
I'm sure you do.
I do care about what people say about me and what people write in the paper because a lot of people know me. I've got a bad perception. I just want to start a new chapter and just move forward and don't look back. Be positive and help the team win.
Okay.
That's it. That's all I'm about.
Overcome problems.
Positivity, my daughter, stay at home, help the team win, read the Bible at night. Very calm, just doing stuff. It's all going to be fine here. He wants to start it all. He said that He's a family man. He goes on a radio show, and he's talking about that he has disassociated himself from the Hoop family.
Oh, is that right?
Don't even see those guys anymore. Don't know anything about them. I sent them home. Fuck them all right in the asses. I don't give a shit. Meanwhile, all of them have changed their residence to Tennessee. It's the biggest bullshit PR like swell I've ever seen here. Snow job. He said that was an entourage I had when I played for the Blazers. But everything he says is back when I was on the Blazers, because that just means the Blazers are known as like a cesspool back then of crime and fucked up. So if you just get out of the Blazers and then go back when I was on the Blazers, everyone goes, "Oh, he was on the Blazers when that happened." Obviously, you can't be on that team and not get arrested. I mean, it just happens. Right. Even Steve Kerr was getting locked up every other day. Remember? I mean, he was getting in fights in strip clubs, all that shit, man. It's crazy over there. No, so it's silly, the whole thing. So family man, disengaged from the Hoop family. He said, as a matter of fact, I don't want to talk about the Hoop family. Let's talk about my real family, where I took 20, that's 20, of my new entourage, my nieces and nephews and little cousins, to Disneyland. That's my new entourage.
Yeah, my new entourage has
take all the family kids to Disneyland, baby. That's it. Now, fuck all the giving those guys necklaces. Now it's about showing the children a good time. He said, quote, "I want to be more active in the community." Oh, Zach, he's just laying it down. He's an angel. "I've been doing stuff that a lot of people don't talk about and don't know about." So he said, I'm good now.
Yeah.
The ultimate. I'm good. Those guys are gone. I only hang out with my kid and my nieces and nephews and little cousins, and I go to Disneyland, and I'm a nice guy.
Price fam.
It's ready to go, babe. It's all good. So, Fisher Price fam. 2009, 2010, he plays for the Grizzlies. They're 40 and 42. So all that hype doesn't make up for the fact that they have kind of a shitty roster at this point. They have Allen Iverson, by the way. Remember that?
Ooh, boy,
I completely forgot Allen Iverson played for Memphis at any point in time. 2009-10.
Wow.
That is, man, that's weird. O.J. Mayo. Who else is on this team? Mark Gasol, the lesser Gasol brother.
Yeah, the ugly. Actually, the handsome one.
Yeah, he's not. They're both. I don't know what they both look like.
Creepy looking. But
European weirdos.
Yeah, it's weird that they're both
Euro
related.
weirdos.
You look at them and you go, "Really? Is that right?"
Weird that they're both related. So, anyway, March 2009, his father dies. Not his real father, his Brewer. Yeah. His father died of liver failure.
Oh no.
Yeah. He said that his father had been in jail for the last 10 years. He just got out of jail a year ago.
Fuck.
So he got out when he was a teenager, then went back in a couple of years later. Like he was right back in for another 10 years. He said, Zach says, quote, "He was gone when I was in high school, but he was a good guy who loved his kids, and this is what he wanted from me, to get back doing my job and to work hard." So he missed a game to go to his dad's funeral. There was no strip club incidents during that funeral, so that's good. 2009, 2010 in Memphis, plays in 81 games, starts all 81, 37.7 minutes a game, 20.8 points, and 11.7 rebounds.
Oh.
Earning him his first All-Star game
there you go.
appearance. So he's finally an All-Star after all this time.
Mm-hmm.
He's always one of those players who's on the good tier.
Yeah.
He's not
just on the
top.
cusp. Yeah.
He's not Durant, Curry, LeBron. He's not even that second tier, Kawhi Leonard and those. He's not even those guys. Right. He's like this third tier of real good top players.
Yeah.
Real good players. You look at their numbers, they're real good. They're just not all stars, and they're not. And sometimes it's a matter of just where they play back then, too, is an issue. He makes, for this year, $16 million even. Not too fucking shabby, I would say. Not too bad. Very, very good. So, 2010, 2011, Memphis 46 and 36. So, not terrible. They make the playoffs at least anyway. They beat the Spurs in the first round, 4-2. So 6-gamer against the Spurs. And then the Oklahoma City Thunder beat them in the conference semifinals. That's your early Durant Westbrook combination.
Yeah. Durant.
That was,
Did I say Grant?
I think he said Grant. Yeah, that's fine. It's Grant. Horace Grant was there. Horace Grant was 105 years old.
That was a good team, though. Jesus.
That was a good team.
Big
yeah.
Perkins.
Oh, I love Sam Perkins. 2000.
No, the other Perkins.
I know. I was saying I love Sam Perkins.
Oh, yeah.
You're talking about. I know who you're talking about. I'm talking about Sam Perkins.
Yeah.
No. I'm talking about Sam Perkins because I love Sam Perkins. This Perkins I don't care about. Sam Perkins looked like he smoked weed between every time he was on the court.
Yeah, probably.
Hold on a minute, guys, and he comes back. Much better, and he comes out dropping threes and shit. So this year for Memphis, 75 games, 74 started. He 20.1 points, 12.2 rebounds.
Yeah.
Crushing. He's not an all-star, though, in 2010-11. He does make, though, all-star money, $17,666,666.
So much money.
God damn. That year, he agreed to a 4-year extension with the Grizzlies worth $71 million with 66 guaranteed.
Unbelievable. He's holy fuck. Does he have endorsed? He does, right? He's got to.
I don't know. Well, definitely not for sneakers.
No.
You don't want put these sneakers on. You won't be able to jump over a phone book. Isn't a real good fucking tagline. They only give sneaker deals to guys who can jump really high. That's it.
Might be able to jump over the bar and punch out a bartender, but that's about it. Yeah.
He'll at least slide over it. He'll figure it out if he needs to punch a bartender.
Wear these when you go order pizza.
So it's been a while. May 2010, according to a report, Memphis Grizzlies star here, Zach Randolph, is being implicated in an ongoing investigation into the city's drug trade. They're saying he's a finance guy in a drug business with his friends, basically, are doing it, and he's giving them money, which a lot of guys in sports do.
Of course.
Just to give their friends something to do.
Right.
You can't be like, your friend's going to go hustle this shit, and he's going to do it no matter what.
Right.
And he wants you to bankroll it. You can't be like, fuck you, I won't bankroll it. Have fun struggling to get that money and then selling it also. So it's kind of like a favor. I think this, as if you're like a sports star, when you do that, you're kind of like writing that money off. Like this will keep this person busy almost like.
But also, when that person's around, people are afraid of me because they know that guy's deep in the drug game.
And that too. But according to this affidavit, the Cadillac Escalade that a guy was driving, who they pulled over, Boyd is his last name here, he was driving. The police found marijuana and ammunition, all this shit in there, which who cares about weed, but it's an Escalade that he's driving that is Zach Randolph's Escalade. It's registered to Zach Randolph. They said the target of our investigation, this is the cops, is Arthur Boyd, the guy that got pulled over. Mr. Randolph's involvement in this case right now is due to the fact that the vehicles seized belong to him. And I said vehicles because we'll get into this here.
Oh, boy.
This guy was arrested while driving this 2008 Escalade registered to Randolph. 3 other vehicles owned by Zach are also seized as part of an Indianapolis drug investigation that resulted in Arthur Boyd being charged with possession and dealing of weed here. They describe Boyd as someone with a long history of criminal activity, quote, from narcotics to murder. That's very nice. It's the guy you lend your car to, right?
Yeah.
Take my new Escalade out, please.
To murder.
Yeah. Randolph's attorney said Randolph is not connected to drug activity, despite anything a police affidavit might be telling them. He says that it's bullshit that they paint his client as a supplier of marijuana and vehicles and all this shit. He goes, it's not true. But this informant that's known by the police as a very reliable informant described Zach as a finance for known drug dealers. Okay. There you go. They said this is from the police. Confidential informants bring up his name on several occasions. That being said, it's just information provided to the police. Okay, well, everything's just information.
Right.
That information led to the arrest of Arthur Boyd. The bottom line is Randolph knows this guy. The vehicle Boyd was driving belongs to Randolph. That's the connection right now. One of the vehicles had what we call hidden compartments. Well, who the fuck else would call it anything else? Is that your clever little name for them? Hidden compartments? I was going to call them whoopty shits. What are you talking about? Who would call it anything else?
Yeah. Statements are so much fun.
Oh, God, I hate fucking people. So anyway, that's what they said. They said that based on information found in the Escalade paperwork, they raided a Northeast Side storage facility where Randolph rents 4, I guess, units here. According to this affidavit, police canine alerted to controlled substances in 2 of the 4 units, and police found more cars with secret compartments inside.
Oh, boy.
That all belonged to Zach.
Uh-oh.
So, yeah, they're saying that basically his cars are being used to transport guns and drugs, and storage lockers that he purchased are being used to store his cars that have secret compartments for these things in them.
Boy.
So that's what they're saying here. They said Boyd, when they pulled him over, he had over 90 grams of marijuana on him, divided into bags in a cooler on the floor behind the driver's seat.
No.
I do like that he's keeping the elements out, though. I like that he's keeping it like a humidor thing going on. Good for him.
Yeah.
He's probably a good weed dealer. I'd buy weed from this guy. If you're still selling, if I'm in Indianapolis at any time, Arthur, hit me up. I'll buy some shit from you. So, an empty suitcase that smelled of weed and ammunition in a hidden compartment they also found as well. I guess the dog hit on firearm shit, too. So, evidence here led the investigators to stake out a suspected drug house where they spotted Boyd leaving the home while carrying a cooler, to which they discovered more than 3 ounces of weed later on. So that's how that worked here, obviously. And that's the store. They found paperwork leading to the storage facility. Yada, yada, yada. So the cop said, quote, about Zach, he should know who's operating his vehicle and should be more responsible for these individuals.
Truth, yeah.
Yeah, I would say. Fuck. Zach, when they asked him about it, talking about his storage locker, he said, quote, there were no controlled substances found in my locker. I have been very intentional in distancing myself from anything that would jeopardize my personal and professional relationships.
Okay.
You lent Arthur Boyd your fucking Escalade. That is not distancing yourself from a man whose fucking background ranges from narcotics to murder.
Murder!
No, this is not what they meant. When you said gonna keep clean from now on, we thought you meant, yes, not this. This is not fucking good, man. So it's dumb, basically. That's a dumb thing to say, I would say here.
Yeah.
In the storage unit, by the way, they recovered 3 Chevy Impalas, model years 72, 73, and 75 as well. He had old 70s Impalas in there.
Ugly ones, yeah.
Not the 60s ones.
No.
That's the weird part. Not like the Dr. Dre, drop top shit. This is
uglies. Yeah.
This is 70s ones. Weird. So anyway, they said that this, Jesus Christ. Even the team said this seems to suggest he hasn't completely cut ties with his past, but they're going to say it's okay. They said, we're not going to say anything until we get more information. The team says. They say, due to our ongoing police investigation, we do not feel it would be appropriate to comment further.
Right.
That's from Grizzlies manager Chris Wallace. Unless some other information surfaces, Zach remains a valued member of the Grizzlies family and Memphis community.
Okay.
2 days later.
What?
2. 1, 2. 48 fucking hours later. He is at the Stars with a Z strip club in L.A.
Oh, why would you?
What time you think it is, Jimmy?
It's 3 a.m.
It is 2 a.m., but you're close.
2 a.m. I was close, yeah.
2 a.m. at the Stars strip club here. All right. Officers respond around 2 a.m. after someone called 911 claiming that a man had been beaten badly by someone or many of Zach Randolph's crew.
Right.
This man's name, Gary Ferguson. Does he hang around just to get the shit kicked out of him?
He is their punching bag.
What the fuck, dude? Why is he there? Why are you letting him hang out with you?
Go home.
Go
Stop
away.
this.
Oh, man. Ferguson told police that Zach was present at the club, but didn't strike him specifically during the attack. He said that, obviously, this isn't the first time there's been a problem with Gary Ferguson and this whole crew here. So this is 48 hours after this, so no charges end up being filed against anybody here, but he gets stomped out in a strip club at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Ouch.
Gary Ferguson. So it's a little bit. Now, August of 2011, summertime. Summertime. The cuffs go on easy. This is up in Oregon again. I don't know what the fuck he's doing up there now, but he threw because he's on the Willamette River cruise. Willamette River. He throws a Willamette River cruise party for 100 guests on the Portland Spirit tour boat. Okay. Jumping on a boat, as we know from the Vikings, not smart. So, apparently somebody here was invited because he's got a friend who's a friend of a friend coming over here. His friend Cameron C. Cox serves as a live-in caretaker for Randolph's 5-acre estate. So that's how that works. And this guy is his friend, this Beasley guy. So while on the cruise, this Beasley guy, he grows medical weed, I guess, back then for in Oregon. So he told Randolph that he had a small amount that he could sell. I got some I could sell you. I mean, can't sell you a ton, but I could sell you some I got on me. So they invited him to the after party. They said, well, why don't you come on by? You're going to be a valued member of this after party then, motherfucker.
Sure he is, yeah.
Get your ass on here. So about 20 people gathered at Zach's home for the party here. Yeah. And Beasley offered Zach a half ounce of weed for $120, which if it's if it's good, like dispensary quality weed, like if he grows for dispensaries, that's a smoking fucking deal. Yeah. Shit's like $6.50, $60 an eighth. So half, that's like half price he gave you. He's giving you a good deal
Solid
here.
deal.
Not half, but a little over half price. Randolph said, fuck you, that's too much. This motherfucker makes $17 million
Right.
and won't pay women to fucking finger each other and won't pay some guy for his weed.
This is literally
Yo.
It's under $200, man.
That's what I'm saying. I'm sorry, but you know what I mean? Like, it's
At
not like
some
he
point,
said
you gotta
$400 for
Right.
this. Then it's like, fuck you. That's obviously a ripoff.
You've made like $70 million. Pay the man.
Yeah, this is fucking more than that. This is fucking crazy. So he told him, no, that's too expensive. So Beasley told police that he didn't think he would have any problem paying $120 because of his, quote, millionaire status.
Yeah.
He was trying to juice him. It was probably a $100 bag that he was selling. He was $120. You know what I mean? Trying to jack him for an extra 20. But you kind of got to expect that if you're Zach at this point, you know?
It's $120.
You have to.
Who gives a shit?
Otherwise, hang out with other millionaires, and they won't do that. But otherwise, people might try to scam $20, $40 off you from now and then, and you shouldn't give a shit about it. So anyway, he said that that is when Zach aggressively snatched the weed out of his hands and yelled to other people to get this motherfucker out of my house. Mm-hmm. He just stole his weed and told people, didn't bounce him himself, told other people to please remove him at this point.
Man out.
After I've stolen his weed.
Right.
He didn't even say, it's worth 100, here's 100, then snatch it from him, then throw him out. That would have been, I can respect that. I can respect that. If he knew it was a $100 bag and was like, you're trying to rip me off, fuck you, here's your 100, get the fuck out of my house, you rip off motherfucker, trying to, just because I'm rich, rip me off. But
that's what he does. He appraises things and then says,
I'll pay zero.
You bid more. You bid too high. This isn't The Price is Right, Zach. You
No.
bid too high. You are out.
Either way, and The Price is Right, you can't bid zero, right? You have to bid $1 to be the least. You can't just be like, I'll take it for free. That's not an option on The Price is Right. Jesus fucking Christ. So Beasley told deputies that 6 or 7 men who were, quote, bodyguarding Randolph then surrounded him and hustled him outside whilst punching and kicking him as well. Not enough that he had his weed stolen. At least one of them hit him with the butt end of a pool cue and left him in a bloody heap on the front porch.
Oh,
They
what
basically
the
beat
fuck?
the shit out of this guy with feet, hands, fists, and fucking pool cues after Zach stole his weed.
Wow, Zach.
This
you're
is
a
dick.
Dick, man.
Yeah, I mean, this is ridiculous. So 2 friends drove this Beasley home, and the next day he was suffering from nausea and headaches, you know, because he's got concussion. He's concussed from being beat with a pool cue.
Right.
He's treated at Adventist Medical Center. Beasley's mother called police, who then got a search warrant to go search Randolph's home. Okay. Sunday afternoon, after a big party, okay, police execute a search warrant on his mansion in the Portland area here. James Beasley is the guy he's allegedly beaten up, so they can go in here. Anyway, once inside, they find Randolph in bed with a woman, obviously, who I'm sure is dissatisfied with what she's being paid for the experience.
Yeah.
And the cops ordered both of them, show me your hands. The woman put her hands right up, titties flopping around, whatever, hands up in the air. Randolph would not take his hands out from behind his pillow and under the covers. Until one of the deputies pointed his gun at Randolph and said, He said he was fucking, let me see your hands, but this is getting serious. So apparently at that point, he took his hands out. Then when they fucking got him out of bed, they wanted to see what was around there. Under his bed, they found a Desert Eagle, which, if you're not familiar with guns, is like a cannon you can fire out of your hand. It's
a 50 cal. It's a big
one. Very silly gun to carry, around. And also an assault rifle under there.
In bed with him?
Under his bed.
Oh my God!
So they were like, "Huh, all right. Well, that could have been ugly." Even though I don't think Zach's going to shoot the cops. That's not. I don't think he's that kind of guy at all. I'm not saying that, but
has it there in case somebody breaks in, not necessarily the cops breaking in.
Yeah, he's got the Desi ready to go. Yeah. That's how it works. So he later, after all this happened, called Beasley's home and asked a relative. Beasley wasn't there, so he asked a relative, quote, "How much money is it going to take for this shit to go away?"
Right.
How can I pay this motherfucker off? So I have a feeling a lot of things Zach does never come out because he pays it off. He knows what the deal is. He knows you fuck up, you pay for it, or else it comes out in the paper, and that's a lot more expensive. Right. So I'd rather pay a guy off. So anyway, he said that Randolph, though, that's how it ended up working out. There ends up being there are a bunch of interviews, 2 women. One of them's a flight attendant. They ended up giving the police false names. So then there was more problems. They had to round everybody up. It was a lot. Eventually, though, Randolph declined to talk with investigators. He wouldn't say what the fuck happened, and they ended up not having any shit to charge him with because other people beat him up. So that's how it ended up working. I mean, the guy, he acts like this shit happens to him when he is the guy pushing the rock down the hill to get it rolling a lot. You know what I'm saying?
And then he gets in front of it.
Yeah. You can't just have a bunch of people around you are super violent, tell them to commit violence on people, have them do it, and then be like, well, I didn't hit him. Like, that's not okay. That's just stupid is what that is. So
contributing and financing all the fuckery.
Yeah. But you want him he wants you to feel bad for him, right. It's crazy. I mean, you can feel bad for him, but people I really feel bad for, Jimmy. Yeah. Feel bad for all those people, but this people here are the ones I really feel bad for. Zach Randolph, UX development intern at Mutual of Omaha. Oh. Okay. Zach Randolph, system engineer at Care DX. Wow. Whatever that is. Zach Randolph, regional inventory coordinator at Milton CAT in Saratoga, New York. There.
Yeah.
We have Zach Randolph, Chief Clinical Officer at St. Joseph's Addiction Treatment and Recovery Centers in Saranac Lake, New York. Wow. Zach Randolph, Project Manager at Graphic Information Systems in Dallas. And finally, Zach Randolph, Shift Lead at Tecala LLC in Cleveland, Tennessee.
Jesus.
There you go. Tennessean, just like him. 2011, 2012. Yeah. The Grizzlies are 41-25. They lose in 7 games to the Clippers in the first round of the playoffs. Now, January 2011, more problems. One of his hoop family here, they got some issues. There's a guy named Ruben Mata who is a bouncer at Club 915. Okay, he is shot and killed in the street outside the nightclub.
Oh fuck.
Oh yeah, it is pretty fucking crazy. The man who did the shooting, Kevin Charles Moffitt, they identify as the shooter. Moffitt was arrested and booked, obviously, and hired a prominent local attorney. How'd he do that? Yeah. Well, I wonder. I think maybe Zach is paying for this here. But yeah, Randolph was the owner said that he's a good guy. I don't know, any of these people he's associating with. They talked to Paul Allen from Portland because it happens in Oregon, and he's like, I don't know shit about it. He's not on this team anymore. Zach has a lot of injuries this year. Only starts 8 games. 11.6 points, 8 rebounds a game. He has some problems. Yeah. $15,200,000 though. No problems down at the bank.
Pays as if it's a regular season.
Fuck, man. 2012, 2013, Grizzlies are 56-26.
Mm-hmm.
They got good fast there, remember?
Yeah.
They beat the Clippers in 6 games in the first round of the playoffs, beat the Thunder in 5 in the second round, go all the way to the Western Conference Finals where they are swept by the Spurs.
You betcha.
So the Spurs were kind of a machine back then. Couldn't help it. But that year, he starts 75 games, averages 15.4 points, 11.2 rebounds, and he makes the All-Star team again.
How about that?
All-star team again. So he's doing well. Makes $16,500,000 for this year.
My God.
Not too shabby.
It's like $100 million.
So it's more than that. Wait till you hear the total. You're going to shit your fucking pantaloons over there. He's fed up with the kids in the league at this point.
Mm-hmm.
He's going, old man, pull your pants up now. Fucking Zach Randolph of all fucking people. He says, quote, I don't understand how these young guys can be so lazy. They come here and don't have no work ethic. I come from nothing. I work hard. I've got 2 max contracts. I know guys who got max contracts when they were young and didn't do shit the entire time. They just chilled.
Wow.
So these people don't, which Zach has a point. He came into the league and made himself a better player.
Right.
He did. He didn't just go, I'm talented and I'm making money. Cool. Like he said, I need to go in the gym extra time and get work on my fucking post moves if I'm going to do this.
I got to make sure that I can get the ball in the hoop.
He did do that. He's a hard-working guy in the NBA. So Monty Williams, who's head coach of the Hornets, he says that he talks about Randolph, and he says, quote, I've met 2 tough guys who I've been with in the league, Charles Oakley and Zach Randolph.
Yeah.
Those are guys you probably don't want to push the wrong way, but those are guys that will literally give you the shirt off their back and pay for somebody's funeral that they don't even know. Right. But they won't pay women to fucking finger themselves in front of each other and finger each other in front of you. Are you kidding me? Or for weed? Right. Sheep fuck. That makes it even worse to me. That's worse.
Shit you've never met, but not the people that you've definitely met.
No shit. Randolph says that Monty Williams, is like his big brother. He's like his big brother. Williams said, he's a good kid. He's a good father, and he's grown up in that. He's got a beautiful family. People are always expecting perfection, but if you're looking for that, keep looking because you're not going to find anybody perfect. But if you're looking for a guy who's just real, not perfect, but real, then Zach's your guy. Yeah. He'll get arrested twice a year. It's going to happen.
And Monty's the coach of the year this year.
Fuck, there you go. He's your guy. He obviously he's a player's coach probably. You got to be in the NBA.
The Suns absolutely love him.
You got to be. Well, you know what? Fuck him because they goddamn lost again. I'm so sick of this shit. I'm seriously about done with the Suns. Honestly, I'm about done. I'm about tired of this shit. I'm tired of these great regular seasons. I'm tired of these bullshit half playoff runs. I'm sick of it. Either be good or suck. I'm tired. I'm done. Win or suck. I can't take it anymore. For fucking the last 30 years. I'm done.
It's frustrating.
So it's frustrating. 2013-14 Memphis, they're 50-32, but they lose in 7 in the first round of the playoffs to Oklahoma City. So that's a problem there. May 2nd, 2014, during the playoffs, I believe, he is suspended by the NBA for 1 game.
Okay.
Not sure exactly why, but he's suspended. Either way, he starts 79 games this year, plays 34.2 minutes a game. He played 34.3 the year before, so very consistent. 17.4 points, 10.1 rebounds.
Okay.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad. Money?
Yeah.
$17.8 million. $17,800,000. That is because he signs a contract extension in July 7th, 2014, and it's a 2-year, $20 million contract extension. So it's just a quickie little player option deal. 2014-15, the Memphis is 55-27.
Yeah,
Damn
they were
good
for several years. Yeah,
several years.
They're getting in it again. Ja Morant is.
They keep coming around.
Yeah, it's a great team. I love them.
They beat Portland in 5 games in round 1 of the playoffs, and then lose to Golden State because now Golden State is on their run. So they lose in 6 games to Golden State. There, he he talks about he's doing an article here where he's talking about his childhood while he walks around Memphis, talking about, wow, never thought it would come to this. Cars are stopping and waving at him. Zach Randolph, they're waving at him. He said, quote, my father was an alcoholic. I saw drugs. I saw destruction and all of that. There's a lot of poverty here. If I can stop one kid from picking up the rock, stop one kid from picking up a sack of dope, then it's a win. Yeah. It sounded like he said he doesn't want kids playing basketball.
Right.
If I could stop one kid from picking up, because you say pick up the pipe, not the rock.
Right.
But that's the terminology he's looking for there.
Is a basketball term.
Yeah, and that's why he had to go, stop one kid from picking up a sack of dope, because they're going to think Zach Randolph said not to play basketball. So
Zach Randolph said, "Don't make over $100 million in your life.
Don't do it." So he went around and was talking to kids. They're saying he was just asking all the kids, How's school doing? He arrived in a black pickup truck with a tree branch hanging out of its bed. And he said, "It fell off in my backyard. I have to remember to get rid of that."
So I threw it in the truck so I never
Just
forget.
threw it in the truck and it'll stay in there
It's
forever.
like tying a rope around your finger. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it happens. He spends his free time with his wife. He's got 4 kids at this point.
Oh, boy.
16-year-old son, a 9-year-old daughter, a 5-year-old daughter, and a 17-month-old son. Wow, that's crazy. He's got a lot of kids there. So he said he's doing great. He said, "I come home and it's about my kids. We just play. The oldest wants to play video games. I've learned a lot. I'm a humble person."
Okay.
He's learned a lot, Jimmy. He's doing well here. 17.4 points and 10.1 rebounds that year. Money, $16.5 million. Jesus Christ. 15-16 Memphis, 42-40. They lose. They're swept by the Spurs in the first round of the playoffs. March 2016, though, he's all about his kids and his video games. He's accused of strangling a woman in an L.A. hotel. Though later on, it doesn't work out like that, but he says that her allegations are 100% false.
All right.
A woman who says she's a model filed a police report with the LAPD claiming, quote, Randolph strangled victim causing bruising to her neck.
He's in L.A. a lot.
He goes a lot, to hang out in L.A. They sources close to the situation tell the press there the woman claims to have a black eye, multiple bruises on her back, and a sprained neck and sore ribs. They called his lawyer, Zach's lawyer, who said, quote, "It's a false police report." The woman filed this, but later on admitted that she made up the beating to shake him down for cash.
Oh, you can't do that.
Yep, she said, she did go over to fuck with him, but then after that, she just... Now, officers said they observed several injuries on her neck and back when she filed the police report on March 27th, which is more than Amber Heard could ever fucking say. You know what I mean? They all said, "I didn't see shit." So, I mean, she had that, but a week later... she changed her story, and she said that there was an argument, but that Randolph never touched her. Never. Even though she went to the hospital and had all these marks on her. The cops said the woman told the officers she was upset and decided to file a fabricated police report just to get his money. Do you think that he paid her off
it sounds like
in that fucking week or what? Allegedly? We don't know, but... he's accused of strangling and choking. She's got all the bruising and shit, goes right to the hospital, has all the requisite fucking things that say that. And then a week later, she not only did it not happen like she said, 100% made it up.
I did it for cash. She had to say
How much would this cost to make this shit go away? We know that's a phrase that he likes to use, so we'll just say that. Who knows, though? The district attorney tosses out the case. We don't know. Could have been somebody grubbing for money. Who knows? So the fucking thing is, I like this guy.
Right.
I kind of like Zach. I don't want him strangling people.
Yeah.
I get where he's coming from. I don't think he means it. If it's up to him, I think he'd like to go out to the strip club, pay for everybody's shit, do everything, have nobody cause any fucking trouble. They're happy with him, that they think he's still down with them, and they paid for his shit, and basketball's happy because he didn't get in any trouble, and his wife's happy because he came home. I think he wants to keep everyone happy and doesn't know how. That's what I think, honestly. I really do.
He has a desire for a lifestyle that doesn't fucking work.
No, that lifestyle is you can't live that.
He wants a crazy lifestyle that doesn't work unless you're just a single floating around dude with what I mean?
If you're married, this is a tough one.
Yeah,
you can't say I'm just my wife and my 4 kids and playing video games, and then you're accused of strangling people,
banging women in hotels.
Wow, he does make $9,638,555 that year.
Jesus.
2016-17, the team is 43-39. They lose to the Spurs again in the first round of the playoffs. Now, at this point, November of 2016, his mom dies. Oh, no. So now his mom's died, his father's died. He says, Everybody who knows me will tell you all I had was my mama. I never knew my dad. My mom was really protective. She took care of her babies the best she could. We didn't have a lot, but she kept her house clean and she kept food on the table for us. The house might not look good on the outside, but when you go on the inside, that joint be laid out, man. I love my mother.
Yeah.
That joint be laid out, man. I love my mother. That's cool. So, all right. Anyway, that sucks. His mom died. He's only 35, too. His mom died. That's kind of young for that. So he does play in 73 games this year. Only starts 5, though. So they got new guys coming in here. 14 points a game and 8.2 rebounds a game. So not bad. Still holding it together. He's still playing 25 minutes a game. So he's he did make $10,361,445 for that, though. July 10th, 2017, signs a multi-year contract with the Sacramento Kings.
At 35 years old?
Absolutely. He's big. He's big and you can bang around down inside. You can fucking hang around a long time.
Yeah.
A long fucking time. Remember, what's his, Herb fucking, what the fuck was his name?
Herb Williams?
Herb Williams. And there was the other one. The guy who was a fucking, it was a Tree Rollins. He was a player coach at one point for fucking Orlando. He was doing both.
For the Mavericks forever.
Yeah.
He also
he was Shaq's mentor kind of a thing they wanted him to be.
Okay. All right. Vince Carter played for like 72 years too. So I guess
he did. Vince Carter's ageless.
He
still looks the same.
Last week, this fucking guy.
No, he's incredible. He is the Frank Gore of basketball.
It's insane.
Because keeps being productive.
Yeah.
August 2017. He should be calm by now. He's in his late 30s. He's arrested.
Oh, God.
For possession of marijuana with intent to sell.
Oh.
He's arrested for weed in L.A. in 2017.
It's got to be a lot.
That's how much intent to sell they must have thought you had here. Well, it's because there's a melee and he gets arrested. Basically, he's hanging out at the Nickerson Gardens housing project in South Los Angeles.
What?
Hey, Zach, guess where you can't hang out when you make fucking $17 million a year? The Nickerson Gardens housing project in South Central. This is what I mean. It's stupid.
Go to the fucking projects, man.
No. Whoever's there that you want to see, fucking buy them a house away from there. What are you talking about?
Right.
So he is arrested there. He's one of 3 people who were detained as part of a huge scene that saw 6 cop cars get vandalized as well.
Wow.
It was a bit of a melee. Apparently had a large amount of marijuana. Quote, roughly 2 pounds.
Okay.
That's a lot of weed. But you know what? I mean, I get it. If I had that kind of money and I'm gonna stock up. I'm not gonna fucking go buy a quarter at a time. I'm gonna buy fucking get me pounds. I'll put it in my freezer and I don't have to fucking worry about this for a while. Much easier.
But he's in the NBA and he has a place for that to be. It doesn't need to be in your car.
Well, it's in a backpack in his car. 2 pounds of weed.
Jesus.
He's probably buying them there. But apparently it was reported to police that responded there due to a large group of people, including Zach, drinking, smoking marijuana, and blocking the street.
Yeah. That's the party.
Apparently, when the cops came, according to them, 3 people were seen reaching for their waistbands. While 1 person was questioned and released, the other 2 were recovered from a housing unit and later arrested. Randolph was being held on $20,000 bail. He was initially arrested for felony possession with intent to sell before the charges are reduced to misdemeanor possession and resisting arrest.
Okay.
So that's what he gets there. He does plead no contest to the resisting arrest charge, but has the weed charge thrown out.
Okay.
Good. He's sentenced to, you, sir, may fuck off, 150 hours of community service.
Wow.
Yeah. If he keeps his nose clean and completes his hours for 12 months, the resisting arrest conviction will be wiped off his record.
Mm-hmm.
So his agent said through David Aldridge on TNT, quote, as we've said from the beginning, the reports regarding Zach Randolph were false and misleading. After being accused of marijuana possession, all charges have been dropped. He was never arrested with any marijuana in or on his possession. It was in a backpack in his car that he was driving.
Did we say that it was on his person?
We didn't say he was holding it in his hands. Right. It wasn't just 2 big sacks dangling from his... Hi, officers.
It was wearing the backpack.
He has been cited for delaying a police officer. It's defamatory for someone to say anything to the contrary.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, that's the charges he pleaded to, so that's what we're... I mean, it's not really defamatory. He said, quote, "I'm not speaking a lot about it, but I felt that I was wrongfully arrested. Things that were put out there wasn't true. But I don't want to be a distraction to my team, my organization, so I'm just going to move forward and play basketball." It's fucking weed. Who cares? If I'm the team, I'm more concerned with why are you hanging around a bunch of guys drinking in the street in the fucking projects? Why are you doing that? You're 36 fucking years old. Go in your house with your goddamn kids, you jerk off. I don't care if he has a bunch of weed on him at all.
You're a 36-year-old who's one of the most successfully paid individuals on the planet.
Get out of the street.
Get out of the fucking streets. Take your punk ass home with your 2 pounds. Don't stick around to smoke me out, dog. No, go home.
No, here's a handful. Fuck off. I'm going home. Yeah, there you go. Everybody gets a blunt's worth. Leave me the fuck alone. So 2017-18, the Kings are terrible. They're 27-55. Yeah. And he plays in 59 games that year, 14.5 points and 6.7 total rebounds here. He makes $12,307,692. The next year, he will be traded to the Dallas Mavericks in February, or this is in 2019, in the 2018-19 season, where Dallas will immediately waive him.
Really?
They got a roster spot free. He does make, though, for that season, $11,692,308 for that year. But December 27th, 2019, he announced his retirement.
May as well. Who gives a shit?
Got tons of money. The Grizzlies retired his number 50 jersey. Wow. Not bad. Career numbers, he averages 31 minutes a game, 16.6 points, 9.1 rebounds, 1.8 assists per game.
Unbelievable. Pretty
decent. Not a bad career. More than that, career earnings.
Oh, boy.
$199,124,765.
Almost $200 million.
He made $200 million, Jimmy.
1/5 of a million.
He's not even a superstar.
Right. Not right. A lot of people, if you haven't paid attention to basketball in the last 10 years, you don't know who he is.
Yeah, he's just a good player who happened to be in the right situation where he was on teams that really couldn't make a hole in where he was, and they had to pay him contracts. They had no one else to pay, and they fucking paid him, and he ended up making all that money for having a really not the
greatest.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan probably made $50 million in his whole career playing basketball as far as salary goes. This guy made 4 times that. Obviously, that's not, but
crushed
it's crazy.
Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley is
perfect timing this guy had.
In comparison.
Yeah, he had perfect timing. He came in the league the perfect time. He will try to play in that Big 3 bullshit league for a while. But before that, June of 2018, his brother Roger is killed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Apparently, there was an Indiana bar, Hops Blues Room in Marion. Hops, are they doing like Stranger Things? Are they doing that after Stranger Things? Because it's in Indiana?
Maybe.
2018, and it's doing it in Indiana.
It might be.
Hops Blues Room? Oh, God, please don't tell me it's Hopper themed or some shit. By the way, we were talking about it before the show. That fucking monster this year, season 4, shut the fuck up. Shut up, monster. The more you talk, the less scary you are, bro. It's just one of those things. It's a bit chatty for my taste. I like the strong silent type in a monster.
That's got to be appealing to the kids, right? Because kids are loving this show.
They're just trying to make it like last year it was an 80s action movie. Yeah. This year it's an 80s horror movie. That's how they're doing it. That's what I'm getting. It's Nightmare on Elm Street this year. Friends are trying to keep friends out of trances rather than from going to sleep. It's the same shit.
It's nostalgia for parents, but then it's campy and dumb for kids. That's got to be it, right?
It's good. No, I don't think it's for kids. I think it's a good show. I think it's one of those shows that you can go. I think it translates to just about any age, probably.
Yeah, maybe.
I think so, but it's just this year is just a little. I don't know. The monster, you can reason with him. He talks.
Right, that's the problem.
You can sit down and negotiate with the guy. I mean, what are we talking about? Yeah. When it comes up and it goes, rah, in your face, you can't do shit about that. It's just going to eat you. You can't fucking talk to it. So at this bar, apparently he is shot and found dead in this bar.
Inside?
Inside. Less than 24 hours later, the bar is burned to the ground.
What?
And investigators determined that the fire was set intentionally.
Yeah.
So they think there's probably trying to hinder the murder investigation is why it was burned down. They don't know, but they're they think so. The blaze caused $20,000 in damage. They said that the fire was arson. Roger Randolph died shortly after he was found in the parking lot side of the business. The police said no arrests have been made here. And, so there you go.
He wasn't even shot inside, and they burned the fucking place down.
That's why I think he got shot inside, wandered out, and died.
Oh,
I think that's what happened.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not positive. Don't quote me on that, but that's what it seems like. So Zach, like I said, tried to play in that Big 3 league in 2020. I don't know. I don't think he plays that anymore. Marion has an annual, I don't know if they still do, but in the mid-2010s, they still had an annual Zach Randolph Day.
Really?
Oh, yeah. They got Zach Randolph Day.
You get to stiff a prostitute today?
You stiff a prostitute. You get, you know what you do? You get arrested with your best friends for smoking weed in the street. It's just a fun day. It's a nice day.
It's a day that weed and prostitutes are free. We don't pay anybody.
Hey, free day. October 2020, Twitter causes a divorce for Zach. Okay. Yeah. He apparently said that he claims his account was hacked during this.
Yeah.
Where he said, this is fucking amazing. He tweeted, quote, "I married a hoe." Okay.
He meant to send that in a private message.
I married a hoe. He said, somebody hacked my account and did that. Yeah. Why would that? He married a hoe. That'll be the thing that cracks his life open. The tweet was quickly deleted, followed by a message saying that his account was hacked. He's got it back now. It took 2 seconds to get it back, but now it's not hacked anymore. So anyway, other people, though, discovered at least one other tweet from several months earlier that Randolph was bitching about his wife again. Okay. So his wife, don't know whether his account was hacked or not, but his wife doesn't fucking believe it because she filed for divorce against him.
I married a hoe.
So,
cool, man. Bye.
Cool. That'll cost you, I don't know, 60, 70 million probably. Bye, asshole. That's that. She had enough of him. Yeah. But if you can't get enough of Zach Randolph, I don't know, hang tight. Especially if he's getting divorced. If he's getting divorced, he's going to be out there, man.
Oh, man.
He'll be doing something, I'm sure, dumb.
Oh, boy.
Like I said, none of this except for that hotel room accusation where it's possible that he might have paid that woman off, allegedly, possibly, in my opinion. All of that shit. Other than that, he didn't really hurt anybody. Right. He's not out to hurt people except for that for Gary Ferguson. Who, if you're Gary Ferguson, beware of Zach. Otherwise, he just kind of keeps to his own crew, and if his crew fucks up, he bails them out. You got to kind of like the guy a little bit, but at the same time, he's really frustrating because he's just fucking up, and it also didn't really affect him at all.
No.
He'd get traded, but he'd still make $17 million. Who gives a shit where you're playing, you know? At this point, he's wealthy.
He'll be
very
in LA
wealthy
anyway.
Yeah. I saw a couple years ago he sold his house in Memphis, and it was being sold for like almost $4 million. It was a big fucking 100 square foot house, had a pool indoors and all this shit. I believe it had an 11,000 square foot basketball court in it, which I don't know. That's just huge. I don't know that's a whole facility.
It's like 7 houses.
That's like 7 houses. Yeah, that seems crazy. Like, I don't know if that's a whole practice facility in there or what, but that's not
small and it's just 2 or 3 stories.
I don't know what the fuck it is, but that's what they said on the Memphis News.
Yeah.
I bet she misread it. I bet it's like 1,100 square feet or something, and they misread it. I don't even know. No, because that's smaller than that would be too small. Yeah, it's probably 11,000. Probably is. Either way, can't get enough. Keep your eyes open. That is Zach Randolph, everybody, and just a fucking mess from the time he's 14 on.
A guy, man.
He just keeps it up. He's very consistent. On the court, off the court.
Yeah.
20 points, 10 rebounds, an arrest every summer. That's what he'll give you. Yeah. He'll give you 1 arrest, 20 points, 10 rebounds per year. That's what he's going to give you. That said, thank you for listening to that. If you enjoyed it, please tell everyone that you enjoyed it. Tell everyone by getting on whatever app you're listening on. Find the reviews. Give us 5 stars and write something nice. We don't give a shit what you write. What your favorite Zach Randolph arrest was. That's fine. That's good. Write what your nickname would be if you were a member of the Hoop family. That's fine. Do that. Give us a review. It helps a lot. Follow us on social media. We are at Crime and Sports on Twitter and Facebook, at Small Town Murder on Instagram. You can also head over to shutupandgivememurder.com for everything. All the merchandise is up there. In addition to merchandise, tickets to live shows, Small Town Murder live shows throughout the rest of the year. There is one Crime and Sports live show with tickets remaining, and that is Sacramento at the Ace of Spades in August. Right. So get your tickets to that right now. Get your merchandise. Also, listen to Small Town Murder if you haven't. If you like this show, I'm pretty sure you're going to like Small Town Murder.
You'll love it.
It's us, and instead of making fun of this, we make fun of a murderer. Yeah. So it's really the same thing. So check it out. That's every Thursday, and every Friday night we have an hour-long Express episode, so you can maybe check that out and see how you think of it. Keep doing that and keep doing that. Patreon, my Christ, do you want Patreon?
It's so much fun.
It's so much fun. You're going to get so much. If you like these shows, get all the bonus stuff. There's a packed back catalog with shitloads of shows, and all the time you're going to get about 4 shows a month out of us too from this. Every damn week it's going to average out to, because every other week you're going to get 2 shows, not only Crime and Sports but also Small Town Murders bonus, which will be interesting to you.
It's stacked.
Patreon.com/Crime and Sports. This week you're going to get, for Crime and Sports, the story of Doc Ellis, who I fucking love. Doc Ellis. He pitched a no-hitter in baseball while tripping balls on LSD. So that's fun. And then he just had a fun life after that. He's a real outspoken guy, and you just got to fucking love him. We'll just go over some of his quotes. He's a fucking ball. I loved it. I love Doc Ellis. And then for Small Town Murder, we are going to talk about the documentary that everybody's been wanting us to talk about. We're going to talk about Conversations with a Killer, the John Wayne Gacy tapes. Yeah. And we've gotten more fucking requests for that than
anything ever.
Than just about anything ever. So, because it's crazy what this guy is saying. So get all of that and more. Patreon.com/Crime and Sports today. You can do all of that, and you will get a shout out.
Oh, will you?
And to prove that, guess what we have for you right now? Shout outs. Jimmy, hit me with them like I threw a beer bottle at you and you're returning the volley with gunfire. Hit me with them now.
This week's executive producers are Isaac Moya, who loves New Mexico.
Wow.
Evidently, it's an
He's the one.
place.
He's the
guy.
one.
He wants me to tell him that it's okay. It's only okay that it's just part of the United States.
Yeah,
that's the only thing that's okay about it.
It's not good, dude. Sorry. We're happy you're happy.
Good for you, Isaac. Yeah. Enjoy it. Becky and Junior Holt in Hawaii. Nilu Rosvanjani. I said it right. Yeah. I mixed the S and F.
We know her.
Damn it. Katie Scignano.
Exactly. Fucking Italian names. He hates
Siciliano. Jordan Bennett and Christopher McGrath. Thank you guys truly for everything you do for us.
Thank you. Absolutely.
You're doing amazing work. Thank you. Other producers are Jennifer Meager, Liz Vasquez, Joey Pepperoni Nips, Carl Kirshner, Peyton Meadows, Jude Kendall, Dr. Michael Ferrer, Dean Campese. The Italian Tank is what he is. Lydia Bunner, I think. Janice Hill, Frank the South African Birdwasher, Zach Westfalls, Faith McLean, Amy Mink Schultz, Mackenzie Sharps, Firstly Serenity, Christy Bennett, John Lagana, Jordan Ecker, Tony Harris, Mike with no last name, Mike Bailey Painter, Kevin Browning, Andy Muhlinger, David Wesley, Alexandria Whitley, Brad Villa, Chad Davis, Darian Reyes, I think, Search Nozelg, what? No, that's not right. Ellen Winder, Tabby with no last name, T. Lars, Kelly Hubbard, Alexandra Zenkner, Kelsey with no last name, Goopy Goop, Craig C. Rennie, Danielle with no last name, Jackie Cobb, Jennifer Talbert, no name at all. Somebody with no name whatsoever. Amanda Agnello, Amy Heller, Esmeralda Gonzalez, J.C. Davis, Amy with no last name, Josephine Bernardson, I think, Sally Steffens, Sean with no last name, KevBot 2021, Ezra DeHogue, Cats, Skialababa.
Yeah, you seem paranoid there.
Craig Bratton, Robbie Buckmeyer, Jasper Miller, Mark Forward, Lynn Pearsall, Joe Trompen, Olivia Long, Selena Deviere, Shane with no last name, Sean Jones, Kimberly Mobley, Adrian Torres, Rob McGregor, Christy Ray Suarez, Anne-Marie Wilt, Patrick Gaumont, Vanessa Alcorta, Justin Dibble, Hannah Temple, Jordan Wallach, Kevin Graham, Elvis Lopez, Danielle Clifford,
Elvis.
Trevor with no last name, Nick Marshall, Kate from Royal Turnbridge Wells. I imagine that's in England.
Wow, yes,
Evan
definitely.
Beck, Anna Yu, Yasmin Humphrey. Whoops, that's no Y. Julie Helm, JZ96, Scott Fuchs, Claudia Catrell, Trosh, Tim Shields, probably not, Jeff Mazariegos, Jesus, Shane Alexander.
Greeks got you too now? Jesus.
I don't know. Shannon Sander, Gremlin
Jimmy
with no
hates the
last
Mediterranean.
Sorry. That whole goddamn
fucking
what do they
region.
call that? Yeah, that area.
We'll go with
Leslie
region.
Gremlin with no last name. Leslie Irwi, Kyle Goslin, Crystal Turberger. Oh boy. Ball Chin Ian. I don't know. It's probably not true. Julia with no last name. James LaFontaine. Diane Johnson. Jenny K. Darnell Swallow. Jesus Christ. William Robertson. Mary Renelt. Chris Helm. Julie Strong. Josh Hill. Cassandra Rupel. Logan Townsend, Alec Hitterman, Barry Missiel, Chris Mackey, Kevin Slayton, Juliet Salater, Melissa Andres, R with no last name, Jarrell Arnott, Natasha Kinshaw, Keith Bylan, I think, Felix Ivy, Raquel Wakefield, Monique Staple, Sarah Schuster, and all of our patrons. You guys are amazing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody. Honestly, from the bottom of our hearts, we really, really do appreciate everything you do for us. Thank you for everything. We do hope the bonus material will fill the empty space in your life and help us out, too. Yeah. So thank you for all of that. And thank you for listening. Follow us on social media. You know the show is social media, but also if you want to find us, very easy to do so. Look us up, Crime and Sports Podcast hosts, or even better, go to shutupandgivememurder.com where there is links to all that shit in one place. No hunting, no pecking, no doing any of that. That said, thank you again for joining us, and we'll keep coming back live from the Crime and Sports Studios. We will see you next week.
Bye.
If you like crime and sports, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.